DJ's having some technical difficulty.
I got it.
Surely.
I figured the Exorcist hover usually. Right, that's the giveaway. Oh man. Well, how are you, Wookie?
Same as always. You?
Good time. I'm pretty good. I can't complain too much.
I honestly just had the moment where where the fuck is my left controller? And it's hanging on my wrist. Oh my god.
I've done it.
That's why you have your discombobulated hand.
Right.
Digging around in the junk drawer. Where'd I put that thing?
Right. Hey, Robert.
Hi, Johnny.
Yeah, Streamlabs is not being cooperative tonight.
Oh,
That's
no.
no fun.
So don't mind the Chulers decorations. We're having a podcast with them first thing tomorrow morning, so we're double booking.
Oh, that's awesome. I've been
Yeah,
following
their
that project for a while.
Yeah,
game
it
is
looks
fun.
really fun. Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, we did a
I'm-
play test with a bunch of content creators and stuff. It was a lot of fun.
I just love
That's
the art
awesome.
style. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it really does.
What's the game about?
So you're all stuck on this tower, and there's 4 classes engineer, grenader, gunner, and medic. And you fight off the creatures that come at the tower, and you can go down into the tower anytime you want. The engineer has to fix the walls.
Mhm.
And there's all kinds of enemies, like flying enemies, running enemies. It's just a lot of fun, and you can craft weapons on the fly. And
I love that.
So it's it's some sort of a tower defense.
kind of, but it's not like you're just all in that one tower.
Right.
But the weapons are crazy. You can make different grenades out of things, and pretty cool.
That's super cool.
To answer you guys' question, there are some things planned for the evening.
Oh.
Well, everyone was gonna ask us questions.
Uh-huh.
Dima wasn't sure if he'd make it, and Justin's at that con in San Diego, so.
Right.
Yeah, I've been trying to solve a bug for 20 hours, so I didn't really come up with many questions.
That's fine.
Unfortunately.
Oh, I got 1 million, so
I'm so
on.
glad.
Yeah.
I think Johnny will ask for the rest of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You will be our speaker.
I'm all for it. Yeah, I could be the host. Yeah.
Tearing the sheet into 3 pieces and handing it out.
Right.
You know what?
Right.
You need to ask the guys from Spatial Ape to install a poof or a little additional chairs there, because I do feel like a kid.
Why not?
I can't.
You can get on top of the table.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
there
a
you
party.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
It's your
well,
show.
Okay, so now do I need to dance?
Yeah. Yes.
can.
But we have money cannons too, if that'll help.
Unfortunately, the
welcome.
guns aren't working tonight.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah, I tried to. Yeah, okay. So that's not just me.
Oh no. Oh, that's.
Oh,
his
we can maybe I can sit on the speaker. No.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh man. Very cool.
But anyone watching this, hopefully Streamlabs is working and you can hear and see us. This is our 100th episode, so
Hooray.
enjoy.
Woo.
Just gonna tell it depends on what questions Johnny asked, but maybe tell
Yeah.
some of our origins and that nonsense.
I think we probably should start with you two, presenting your origins and stuff, right? I think that's where my questions would start.
I agree. Yeah.
What would you say our origins for this are there, Wookie?
For the podcast itself, or how we were conceived? Because I wasn't there.
That's disgusting. No, don't do that.
So come on, let's hear about you guys' parents fucking. Let's go. Come on.
Well, there was a 61 Chevy Impala with a big
Oh,
the bench seats, Well, for this podcast, I would say Origins kind of lied, and we had a podcast for a while. We might have mentioned it before with for like 5 years with just a bunch of friends. We'd play Xbox with all that stuff, and we were so stupid. We make each other laugh, so we're just like, well, let's try a podcast, and it was pretty fun for a long time. Started losing people after a while. They just got bored of showing up, I guess. And one of those times I flew up and we all tried VR and had a blast. And those are those other origin stories we've told with the.
So, which one of you did VR first?
Oh, right.
It'd be him.
Okay. PJ.
I was the one sitting there for like 3 years with my finger over the buy button with the Oculus. Like, do I get one of these? Like,
Right.
is it ready yet? I don't know. And then, yeah, we played it like one of those, has like the stall for each person, and we played Elven Assassin. And, I fell on my ass, that whole story. Like, there's a barrel there. I know it's not real, but I'm going to lean on it while I'm dodging an arrow. And
So, what was your first headsets then?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Oculus Rift. But before we go further with that, more of the origin story is we had that podcast, just a bunch of friends. We made each other laugh. I have a best of episodes if anyone wants to hear it. There's some funny stuff.
We came up with some pretty funny crap on that.
Like we hijacked one of the guys' OkCupid account and rewrote the entire thing.
Oh, God,
and funny
we got
story,
him his new wife.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right.
His wife was the first one to respond to that, and
That's
they
not-
met
that's
and
not what
started
he's
hanging
doing.
out. And,
He'd already been hanging out with her for like 3 weeks, so he didn't need his OkCupid profile. I was like, well, I don't think I'm going to need it. If you guys want to write one for me, it might be funny. And as soon as we hit publish, she sat down with a friend of hers and said, hey, look at this great guy I've been hanging out. And she showed her, not knowing it was updated,
damn.
his new thing. And there was a book, favorite novel was like The Strain of Menstruation by P.J. Callahan, and all of this just stupid stuff. And they started laughing really, really, really hard. And I guess that sealed the deal and got him a third date or something like that. And
Oh,
they're married.
anyway, we did the podcast 5 or 6 years. Wookie and I, we've mentioned that we communicate telepathically. We're brothers. We've been
Naturally.
in each other's lives for
That's
40
gross.
plus years.
Okay.
But like even when we game, we don't talk much, and it's very
Right.
bizarre because we don't have to. We just know what's going on.
I get it.
So there was this one night where everyone else was not going to make it. So Wookie and I are like, well, do we just not do an episode? Because what the hell, we don't talk, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So we had just gotten into VR. I'm like, well, let's try to help other people get into VR, because what happened when we tried, and we're both very tech savvy, it was a pain in the ass. Like, you had to know
Right.
USB buses, you had to know all
Right.
kinds of stuff,
The
and it was not
drivers
easy.
and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a shuttle PC cube. The Rift has the sensors and stuff. And I was like, well, my PC is like 1.5 by like 8 inches. It's a small box. And a video card barely fits in there. One of the old like 1070s still rocking it. And I had to go in and plug some stuff in and create new, like there's 2 USB ports like hanging out of my case for these stupid things. And like it started running really slow because I had too many of them on USB 3. And then well, you have to have one of them on USB 3, one, maybe 2 on USB 2.0 because they overload the bandwidth. And it's like, oh my God, this is complicated. Somebody's going to need some help.
So we did a quick impromptu VR episode. We explained like the headsets that were out at the time, games, comfort, like the top level stuff.
Nice.
And we're like, well, that went okay. And instantly that thing had like, I wouldn't say more downloads than any other episode, but like 600
wow.
the first like couple days.
That's
And I'm
cool.
like, oh crap, people are looking for that.
Right.
So, like, our podcast was winding down, and we decided to retire it. And then Wookie and I took a month or 2 off. I don't remember, but I was looking for
VR.
other VR podcasts, and there was only like 2, and one of them was good, one was So I'm like, let's do that. And by the time we got the ball rolling, got everything set up, we launched probably 3 or 4 months later than I wanted to, but here we are, over a year later. Talking to awesome devs and like with you guys, Cyril, Robert, Johnny. We started out just like normal, like we kind of did reviews and like accessories and hardware, I'm like, it's boring, just us two talking. So we started inviting devs on, and we haven't stopped since. And
That's awesome.
we just like to hear your guys' stories and share it, and like give the gamers your viewpoints, and because we just love to hear that stuff. So that's kind of what happened.
It's fun to hear the challenges with lighting and the pipelines and you guys switching to those things. Not everybody gets to hear that stuff. The funny part is you guys don't know PJ that well. You know him from the realm of Twitter and the podcast, but he doesn't talk to like anybody. You have to be in PJ's inner circle, and then he won't shut the hell up. Like all of a sudden, before we started, the podcast and stuff, PJ's like on Facebook talking to some bands, like some favorite bands of his from, the West Coast. We live on the East Coast. Stuff he's listened to while I was growing up, and he's like talking to the lead singers. I'm like, what are you?
Wow.
Extrovert now? What is this? Sebado and Buffalo Tom, if you guys are familiar, it's like I've talked to these people, and I'm like, oh, okay. Where did you get this? Because I'll go.
I've had dinner with some of them.
Right? Yeah, he's going to like dinner with these people that he's idolized, and then now he's just just reaching out, talking to devs, and like when did you become Mr. Twitter inviter guy? Because like now we booked out for like 2 months, and I'm like, I didn't have to do anything. I'm like, this is great. I'm just sitting here. I get to talk. PJ's inviting people and making it happen. So that's a really weird switch. So that's kind of fun to sit and think about.
Yeah, I just at Thanksgiving, my sister and brother-in-law were like, so what's going on in your world, as a joke, because they know I don't talk much, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, so they kind of dove into it. They're like, why don't you talk? I'm like, no one wants to hear about the crap I'm into. So they made me talk. So I was telling them about the podcast and some of you guys, and they're like, what the hell? Like, you how do you have a podcast? And it's just like,
Right.
It was the same thing when I used to tell people I was a singer in a band at one point. They're like, what? No, you're more of a bass player. Like, you don't fucking talk.
Oh, that's great.
It is kind of weird.
It is quite strange. But now, do I have to not swear on the podcast because our family members? No. Yeah, that's a strange thing. It's like I think I'm the same as I am right now with everybody. I'll just go up and say the randomest stuff to people, and like it would have made sense if I had the drive to start inviting people on Twitter. That would have made sense for me. Never for PJ. It would have been like, well, it is like, what the hell, man?
Was there anything that kind of made you more outgoing, PJ? Just curiosity, right?
So strangely, and some people may not believe me that know me when I say this, but like the first podcast, it actually was, it started out, we were all on Xbox having fun, but as soon as you click record and people know you do, like everything changes. Like people climb up when no one talks.
Right.
Which had the integration where you could like record party chat while you're playing Halo or Grand Theft Auto. And it's like, this is perfect. We can capture the videos because when you just take like clips and stuff and you don't hear everyone scream laughing behind it, you're like, what is this? Right. And then, as soon as you hit record, nobody says a word. So it was the weirdest thing.
Part of like what kept me going to the podcast, I'm like, I got to use this tool to make me talk more and get better at conversing, because I don't do small talk. Like I can't, I'm not into sports. I don't give a shit about the weather most of the time, so it's hard being, and I am introverted, but I'm not shy if the mood is right. So I'm like, let me use this podcast, kind of get better at talking, and then it never really happened in the old one, but this podcast as we're talking to awesome people like yourselves, I'm like, yeah, these are the conversations I want to have, and I want to hear, these are the questions I have, so I'm going to ask them, and that's kind of.
Do you find that being like in VR has helped a lot? Like for me, it's like going into any social thing in VR is much better than like real life. I'm very awkward in real life, so
I get that.
I feel a lot less in VR.
Yeah, I have days like that, but it's weird. It's a chemistry thing, because there's certain people that like I instantly will click with. Like when I was in a band, like I was swinging from rafters, breaking crap, throwing people. All true stories, but like in like work settings and everyday crap, it's like I am pretty quiet, because my sense of humor and vocabulary are not work appropriate, so
I get that.
So, but VR has helped, but I don't get that like the chemistry all the time. Like we're like if I was just in a room with Johnny and we never met and never talked, like in real life, I'd probably click and then I would just be myself.
Right.
To where so it's kind of both.
I get that. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Wow, that's awesome. Wow. And I guess like YouTube, like I love that you guys are doing a podcast with brothers. Like I think do you have siblings, Robert?
I do. I have an older sister.
Right. And so I'm sure like all of us with siblings know sometimes your siblings get on your nerves. So choosing to engage in an activity like this and like basically entertain people with a sibling, like that could be like it's a working relationship in part, right? Like even though it is like and so like was that ever hard for you two or?
No. Well, I can't speak for both of us, but I don't think so.
Not really.
We've actually been we've brought this up before with each other where I'm like all we're doing is talking to devs, which is great, but some of the listeners are like, we don't get to hear you guys' opinions on things. Well, to a point. So it's like, well, do we do like one episode a month where it's just the two of us type of thing? Mm-hmm. But the hard part with a VR podcast, and I'm not shaming you at all, Wookie, but I play way more VR than Wookie does. So
for sure.
And because he's like a one game at a time person, I like to try everything all the time.
Right. So speaking of that, so I had this 30% off Oculus coupon. I'm like, okay, what are you playing right now that I should get? And he's like, probably Guardians. It's like a shooter game and you design your levels. I'm like, okay, we played that. It's fun. And then he's like, well, Zero Caliber's on sale. I'm like, okay, well, I get that too. Played that once. It's fun. I haven't played it again yet. That was just the other day. And then he's like, so Onward, like somebody was talking about Onward, so now we're going to play Anyway, it's the only game where a bullet crack goes by your ear and I almost pee my pants. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I don't remember which one of the sales it was, but I took a screenshot of my library. Like, I owned every game on sale. I play a lot. So.
And I'm like, one at a time, please. I'm like, now, which is it, Guardians or Zero Caliber or Onward? Should I have bought the other two? Because I had Onward,
And here's the funny thing about VR. It's like the mindset where we come from flat gaming to a point where you can spend 40, 60, 90 hours on a game. VR, that's not really a thing. So you're like, they're made to be played. Huh?
Yet.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Your game's challenging that notion, right?
Oh, yeah, that's the plan. I want to make people call out of work, man.
Yeah. So that's just where it's like, Wookie's like, pick a goddamn game. It's like, well, if we play this for 4 hours, we'll be done.
Well, I mean, it's like all at the same time. Again, I said that once before, probably on the Dev podcast. Maybe it was a different one. But I was like, I sit there and I get really good at like one game to the point where like, I've got clips from old Titanfall where people are like riding the zip lines and I have that big sniper, the Kraber, where it has like a bullet drop and a timing. There's other snipers that are like instant shot. This one you have to lead them. I'm sitting there like boom right off the string, and now I have to like sit in the zone for a while, and then I get a headache. Play another shooter like Call of Duty. I'm just like, you're looking up in the sky. I'm like, crap, my settings are, my inverted settings aren't inverted and crap, and I'm just stumbling.
I'm down with you, Wookie. I'm the same way. Like to me, it's like one game at a time.
Right. I like to be immersed in the game, so I can walk around like Witcher 3, or like if the game sucks me in, I'll just be in there for like 2 years. Like, and launched an Xbox like museum you can visit on your phone, and it'll have like you can walk around on your phone or whatever, and you can visit little things, and it's got tidbits like the Red Ring of Death from the old 360.
Oh man!
Then it's got a museum for like Halo, and then the Xbox has got your own personal one. I walk in there, and it's like most played game of like every year for the last 5 years. And this big panel, and a friend of ours has like Red Dead 2 on 2 of the years and all that stuff. Mine's Grand Theft Auto 5 every year. A lot of Grand Theft 5. Holy cow!
The funny thing about that is, with this podcast and having a weekly guest, like I want to play their game if there's one available, unless it's like super early alpha, which I've done a lot. So that makes things a little more difficult. But with Xbox, I beta tested Xbox Live.
Yeah,
I beta tested the Kinect. I beta tested hundreds of games before they were
like
a thing. So
the first like Xbox Live sponsored little tournament thing, I think. Where you
I got
like
like second to last place.
Wow.
I still have the T-shirt.
But you placed. You placed. You know.
No, I was the last of two.
But you placed. You know.
Yeah,
There's. You know.
Second place because ever play like the quick game like the other people do. He didn't cheat.
Okay.
What you said at the time.
Yeah.
I like game time, and then PJ's like, "We've got like 6 people on this week. You should try each and every one." I'm like,
So my time is kind of divided up like online time with Wookiee and our nephew and our friends. Then I have my own like single player time, and then I have like podcast time where it's like, okay, I'm got to play these 3 games. Like I played Medieval Designer for at least an hour the first time. I played Galactic Bar Fight for at least an hour.
Wow.
Surreal. I'm not even going to tell you how many hours I spent on your 2 games that are out. But yeah, it's just that's how I got to do it.
I love it.
that is kind of funny. That's about the only contention point doing because
For sure.
I'm like, well, I don't really mind being a viewpoint of like asking the questions because I have no idea what the game is.
Sure.
You know, ask questions because he knows what the game is, and nobody's going to ask the, you know, a viewer that or listener that hasn't played it, like, might appreciate that. And I don't think PJ kind of shares that as much as I think it's useful.
Yeah, I often wonder like what our guest thinks when Wookiees like goes off on a tangent for like 30 minutes about like Grand Theft Auto or like any Xbox game. Not that that's bad, but it's always relevant. But it's like, isn't this a VR podcast? Like, I just think it's funny. Like,
We all live on Earth and play games.
yeah.
Right.
Talked about Mario.
No, like, because like when the Baron from Blade and Sorcery was on, like we talked about The Witcher and all kinds of things for quite a while. And it was just funny, like.
Haven't slept in 9 days or whatever he said. Like, I need to cut this at an hour, and it was like going over 20 minutes, and he kept doing it, and you're like, and I'm like, he did it.
Yeah.
You know, a steak down and not having a dog eat it. he's still talking. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, Wookiee is kind of meant to be like the non-VR person, and I don't explain. We've never explained anything ever very well. So.
I think you two expressed that pretty well, though, right? Like when I interviewed with both of you. Oh, hey, Dima. Yeah.
Hey, he showed up. He woke up.
What up?
What up? Yeah, but yeah,
For a second, I thought it was Simeon.
Oh my!
I thought I recognized the cube.
Right.
I heard you talk.
You guys hear me?
Off.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
there he is.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I see the thing.
Oh.
I don't hear him talking. Up. Well, there with that. All right. Oh, there he is.
Can you guys hear me? Hello? Hello?
Now, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. A big ol' hello.
Big old
Hello, nerds. How's it going?
Hello. Pretty swell. We're talking
That's
to PJ and Wiki about, starting the podcast and everything. Yeah.
You started, their podcast?
Yeah, their podcast.
Oh.
I've started
You guys-
every podcast in existence.
I didn't know you guys did
Wow.
podcasts. That's cool.
Yeah, it's new. It's new.
That's awesome. Congratulations, guys. I can't wait to watch it sometime.
DJ, I think I'm inside of you.
Oh.
I can.
No.
Happy 100th episode.
It went there fast. I'm sorry, it's accidental. You were sitting on my lap, and
This is not the content I came here for. Okay.
It sure is.
I was just looking at the back of your eyeballs. You may want to take this.
You were in there deep.
Wow. I'm running away now.
Things are getting creepy today.
Yeah, as soon as you show up, huh?
Yeah. I ruined it.
Coincidence.
I ruined it. Yo, this
Superman and Clark Kent are in the same spot at the same time.
Schuler's game.
Sure.
We already covered Schuler's Demon. Damn it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right.
It looks so good, though. I love the art style of it.
Yeah, art style's great, man. Good stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to check that podcast. It looks
They
really
have,
cool.
yeah, Demo, just to catch you up, we have them on the
what's
podcast
up?
tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
I did a quick play test with them. These guys have an awesome sense of humor while you're in their room. There's a TV, and you can grab these VHS cassettes and put one in. And each one, like, the guy is just, like, duct taping weapons together and, like, beating the crap out of stuff.
For
It's
sure.
hilarious.
Wow.
Oh. Awesome.
Anyway,
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Man.
did we answer your question? What was the question?
It wasn't even a question, right? Wait. I think it was
Has been
Demon's question. What the
contentious.
game was, right? Oh yeah. Well,
I didn't
no,
ask
because
any
like
question.
you talked about like the different dynamic, and I think even in my interview, it's kind of, I think that was kind of really good that you guys had that dynamic, because I know you'd played the Galactic Bar Fight version that I sent you, and then you had some great questions of just about like the general over design and kind of like our approach to Wookiee that and I think you two complement each other really well in that way.
Yeah, that
Told you.
was kind of my thought too when you guys interviewed me. Was like you'd play it and you hadn't, so like trying to explain the inventory system was like, different
Right.
because you hadn't
Okay.
experienced it.
Right.
I'm going to address
then-
the elephant in the room. How many? This is your 100th episode?
Correct.
And I've not been on your podcast. I just...
Oof.
Whose fault is that?
Oof. Well,
Aside
Just
from
saying.
the 6 episodes of the Round Table, I think I asked you about it once. You're like, let me get the game to a more stable state. Because I played the demo like
Oh.
months ago.
As did I a long time ago.
Oh.
Played that one.
Well, who knows? I've
Any day, man.
things have been
Any
busy.
day. Thomas, what's up?
Howdy, howdy.
Good to see you, man.
Thomas.
So I will start telling guests more often, like, here's the 2 viewpoints we're bringing at you. Be prepared.
for sure.
I don't mind blindly saying, I didn't play it. PJ could be like, I played it. I love this, that, and be like, what are we talking about? What is this shit?
It's kind of a feature, right? Because if there is someone that did not play it, well, then it gives the dev the opportunity to explain the mechanics, to
Exactly.
explain the game.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I think
Basically,
that's a good...
basically, Wookiee, you're the stand-in for the auditor, like
And the
you're
straight
the
man.
viewer.
Yeah, Wookiee's the viewer, basically. He's like the
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
the big dumb.
It's a good dynamic.
I'm the big dumb viewer advocate. Yeah. Get that on the t-shirt. And the,
He's got to
Big
bring
dum
that
dum.
viewer perspective.
You just called all the viewers dummies.
Yeah.
Damn
I mean,
it. Well,
It
There won't be
always goes
100
over
work.
well.
some people think you can get multiplayer in Breath of the Wild for $10,000. So
Jesus Christ.
I would assume most viewers are dummies.
Most gamers are dummies. so,
Most
you know.
gamers are dummies. I'm sorry, guys.
I am not part of this podcast.
$10,000.
That's why we're here, to give your guys a side of the story to them so they understand, like,
I think
why
that's
can't
our
I
fault.
have this or
you.
that? You
I
know?
think that is our fault, though. I think I think the game dev community, because no one wants to talk about
agreed.
money. Then no one wants to say how much this shit actually costs to do.
I know. Right? I think we all compete against that like $1 an hour concept, and that pisses me off so much, right? Because like to make an hour worth of content, like to make an hour-long game takes forever, and then like to make your game beyond the hour, like sure it takes a little less time, but like yeah, I'm sure you know, Robert. Like I'm sure it took a long time to make that first hour of like your game, and then everything else like it's stretching out a lot longer. But like that first hour is the hardest part.
Yeah.
There's also the stuff like, you can breathe or like, scratch your nose and something goes wrong in the game. Like in Spatial Actor, they broke the emote guns.
Yeah, everything is connected in game dev. You touch something here and it breaks over here.
I didn't think that was true at first, but it is.
It is
so stupid.
so much.
It's the most dumbest thing on the planet because I wasn't I don't do the coding shit, right? I just do art. But like through making our tech demo, we just broke shit nonstop.
Right.
So like I didn't think that was true at all.
Right.
Everything's so fucky too. Like the same bug we've been working on this whole time.
Right.
Like 20 hours of working on this. We have this weird problem where like Unreal crashes because there's some kind of array issue, but it doesn't tell us what the array is that's making it crash.
Right.
And we fixed it today, and we have no idea how.
Oh, I hate it. I've done it, but I hate it.
You switched
Like
to
we
Unity,
fixed what we
didn't
thought
you?
was broken, and then to verify it, we re-broke it, and it works both ways, and it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So anyway, everything's
Well,
everything's connected.
Yeah.
Back in art school, we kept running into people, and I've heard this too, like, real artists don't, if you're drawing, real artists don't use erasers. Like, well, you need to add negative space, and you need to correct
Real
mistakes. Like,
artists.
real artists don't use erasers.
What does
They
that
don't
even
make
mean?
mistakes.
I
And it's
hate
like,
that term. I want to murder
anybody who said that has never drawn anything.
Exactly.
And a lot of people are like, well, this emote gun doesn't work. Maybe a plugin broke. Well, you shouldn't use other people's plugins. Like, well, it's going to take me, 30 hours to probably troubleshoot this and fix it.
To be fair, I do believe you shouldn't use other people's plugins. Unity.
That happens in business as well. But then it's also
and
like,
this is why your array breaks.
Yeah, dude. That's why you can't figure out your shit.
Yeah, single point of failure instead of multiple.
Oh, damn.
but that's where then a lot of people are like, you should just write your own. Like, okay, let me take that 30 hours to fix my little bug with the plugin or whatever's going on. And let me just go spend 10 years writing a game engine.
Exactly.
Fuck. People just don't get that shit.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's funny.
Yeah. I think I was working on a card game at one point, and I think we forgot to connect a text label somewhere. And somehow we had this horrible AI issue where all of a sudden the AI didn't know how to navigate the nav mesh. And sure enough, we found out, oh, there's this text label like showing some random thing, right? Some random value needed to be populated. Everything's fine, right? It's just like you said,
That's crazy.
everything's connected. It's wild. Yeah. Super weird.
And that's why I'm glad I do art because it's almost impossible to fuck it up.
Fair.
Those instant feedback too, like that's pretty good, or that's horseshit.
I just lost 72 frames. So let me.
I actually want to
back.
challenge that because once you start doing art for VR, you realize all the things that can go wrong. Like, oh, you did not atlas it right. Oh, your UVs are not. I mean, there is like so many. Like, I'm doing it right now. Like 5 minutes ago, I was making a new environment, and like the atlasing is just fucking headache.
Right.
Yeah, and having to put everything in an atlas is annoying.
Is. Though there is a pride, right? When you look at your atlas and everything is like neatly packed,
Of course.
You have all your textures. You feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
It's like Tetris, like fancy Tetris, right?
Yes, like fancy Tetris, like arty Tetris.
Right.
I mean, I love that. I love that whole aspect of quest development. It's just like the optimization that you have to do and like all the crazy like little tricks. It's like
I love the
developing
optimization.
games
It's
in
the
the
best.
past. I love it. I enjoy making the lowest poly model possible. Like most favorite.
Oh, I'm there with you.
Favorite thing, dude. I enjoy. It's like I actually never got into like AAA game dev stuff. Like I never make like high poly models. Everything I've ever done is just low poly stuff. So like I'm so happy that that's what you have to do for VR. I'm like, yeah.
Same here, and pixel art.
Yeah, it's just I like it. I've enjoyed it.
Right. All right, so I'm gonna steal the spotlight for Wookie and PJ again.
Oh God, classic.
Right. So I'm curious, right? Like, so you guys obviously both enjoy VR enough to start a podcast. What was the first VR experience that kind of made you fall in love with VR? Like, what was?
Oh, that's a good question. I should have thought of that.
Well, the first one we did was instantly going to buy this, and that was Elven Assassin. We've told that story a few times because we went to an arcade where there's a booth, and this dude was running by himself. His little, like, I don't know, 12-year-old kids were helping him out, and they were wiping these. This is the first regret I had when we paid our $80 for the hour, was like these kids were taking these alcohol wipes and wiping out this headset. And I was like, I didn't think of that.
You're right.
That's disgusting. And I was sitting there like,
right.
regret this immediately. But I was like, whatever, it's going to be fun. And the headsets, I didn't realize they would still need, like, I wear glasses, and I didn't still realize they'd still need glasses. And my glasses were
that was so
screwed up,
depressing.
and I was right. I was keeping them like super glued. These glasses were like a decade old, and they were still fine, but it's super glued to the hinge. I couldn't get them to fit. So I handed them to somebody's wife, it's a friend of ours, and she was like, "The hell is this? Like, what are these glasses?" I'm like, "I can't see anything. I'm trying to shoot arrows and snipe people." And it was just immediately like, we played that game, I don't know how long, probably the full hour. Like, I couldn't lift my arm up anymore to shoot.
So,
like, I was like, oh.
At these little arcades that he was describing, you go in there and they have like videos and you can scroll. So we made like a playlist, like we want to try this, and
15
that.
minutes of that. And
We didn't
World
leave
War
of
II
an
game.
assassin once, but
Wow.
Wow.
But my original thing with VR, if I remember correctly, was Virtual Boy demo in Best Buy. Like, maybe it wasn't. I don't even know if Best Buy was around back then. That was a long time ago. I know it gets hate, but I put that thing on, and my little, I don't know how old I was, maybe 16. My mind was just
I bet.
Old fake VR.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, I didn't realize
red.
you were that old.
I'm 43.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
old.
Spring
I didn't realize any of you
chicken.
were this old, to be fair. So, you know.
I thought you were my age.
I get that a lot,
Is Wookie
even
the
in
same
person.
age?
So
You want
James
to talk to
Under.
the old man, you talk to
Look-
me.
How old are you, Wookie?
Guess.
29. 42.
Everyone says that. I'm 41.
41? Oh, dude.
But I guess I don't look it because people ask me that and they'll be like, holy shit, I thought you were 25.
Yeah, I kind of have the
I-
opposite thing because I'm like balding. Everyone thinks I'm like, 38. You know.
but I'm 100% bald.
100% bald. I'll
And I
catch up
train-
to you there soon.
I train all of our new people at work, and they're like 20, and they all think I'm like 30. I'm like, awesome. I do.
Yeah, I
act
thought
pretty
you guys
mature.
were in your I thought you guys were in your 30s.
We were.
We were.
At some
That's
point.
good.
At some point
But
you were in
Going
your 30s.
back to Virtual Boy, there is a great emulator for the Quest
Oh, really?
that you can play all the games, and some of
Oh,
them
yeah,
are really
I've seen
creative.
those.
So
Yeah.
Seems like
I-
a great
I
way to
recommend-
puke.
No.
True.
I
I'll
just
have to give it
remember
a try.
looking at that same thing, like, San Tippy Toes looking in that demo. And I remember Mario running, like, there was like a platform, just a plane, but there was like, the middle was cut out, and like you're trying to run across this over here. And I'm like, love the perspective. Why is it all red? And then I never looked at it again.
Right.
It's just all red.
Why is it all red? Not enough. Come on, that's the best color.
To this day, I
Fine.
still
It was
don't
just a
understand
lot
why
of
they
it.
picked red. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
they
Yeah, I
could
know,
have picked
right?
green or blue.
Green
or
would have
why
been
red?
good. I think would have done better.
Red makes the negative portions, the black stuff, way more dark because it's.
I mean, maybe that's on purpose. Maybe that, like, maybe
Maybe.
to pull off the visual tricks that they were doing that needed
be.
to be red. Like, it probably wasn't an aesthetic choice.
I was always a weird kid anyway, so when I saw that, I'm like, if I stare at this for like 20 minutes, and I know I would because I play a lot of Nintendo, I don't know what my eyes are going to see. So my
Right.
brain was like, when you stare at some of the sun and you look away and there's a blue dot, like, what is this going to do?
Maybe that's why you have to wear glasses now.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't be staring at
You've
the
been
sun.
staring at the sun.
Right.
I mean, I
don't
would do
really
that
do
too
that.
as a kid. I would stare at the
Right,
sun all
of
the time for
course.
fun, see how long I could do it. And now I'm blind.
Yeah,
so.
I kind of wonder if that's why I'm colorblind today. Is because like I stared at the sun a lot as a kid.
I was just using that as an example.
Well, shit, you outed all of us here.
Oh, you outed us. We're outed. The sun starers. We're the kind
So
of
I've
guys
heard
that look
tell
at
that
eclipses.
some people as children used to eat paint chips.
I used to huff gasoline tanks.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I used to actually paint little minifigures, and there was this one skeleton dude with a hood on. I was using like
And
a
you ate him?
paintbrush with like, with one little bristle sticking off. And PJ's like, "You're never gonna paint the eyes of that thing red." And I'm like, "Oh yeah," and I'm sitting there painting it, getting these eyes right. I'm so happy. And then our dad bursts in, and he's like, Are you guys huffing paint? Like, because we had a little paint set. And they're like, no, these just painted themselves, you asshole.
Oh, man.
Times.
But yeah, Elven Assassin. Shooting people in the face, friends in the face. They just added another PvP map, and that was like, what,
I've still never
2017?
played that.
Yeah, I've never even heard of
Either.
Elven
Yeah.
Assassin.
I've heard of it. I've never played it.
Yes,
Like, it's one of the games
four-player
everyone
co-op.
recommends, but I've never played it.
Mm-hmm.
Good time.
It's, if you like shooting arrows.
Yeah.
I've never played a single VR game, I don't think.
No? You know? Oh, that's fake. Never mind. No.
How would you know you're looking at the sun? I mean,
That's true.
That's my dark secret, dude. I've never fully played like a full game before.
when I
No?
first got the Rift and they had the little, like, whatever that getting used to VR thing with that little robot and your
Yeah, I love
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit.
toys.
That thing was
Yeah.
dude.
That was cool.
I was in there for like 8 hours.
That's
And
so
where is
yeah, dude,
VR
me
gonna
too.
go?
That sold me, dude. As soon as I put that on, I
Mhm.
just sat in my floor looking up at the fucking roof of the RV, and I'm like, God. Because I was skeptical, right? Because like I bought a
Right.
VR headset for my thesis project, and yeah, I'll do this. I'll make a VR project, and I thought it was going to be like a screen door, and it's going to look like,
Mhm.
but it looked amazing. I thought it was like the
Right.
coolest shit, like totally
Mhm.
believable, fully immersed. Like,
Mm-hmm.
damn. So I feel you on that one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I guess. So, considering you guys have been in love with VR since the Virtual Boy, roughly, or you
Yeah, right.
weren't super impressed, you liked the perspective, didn't love the color. I guess, is there anything that's kind of surprised you about the evolution of VR to this point? And is there anything that's been disappointing so far? Or
Ooh, that's good.
Good
So,
question.
to me, the thing that surprised me most, again, we're coming from a gaming background. What surprises me are all the apps that have to do with like treatment or like
right.
nothing to do with gaming at all. Like Thomas, your game is very
Mhm.
much putting the light on autism and that things like that. That's blown me out of the water. Like,
Mhm.
and it's just crazy that those are the things that I get excited and I enjoy more than
Right.
like the bigger games that come out. Even I still like them, but these
Right.
things are like what really make me
Right.
think about VR when I'm not in it. So
Right.
Yeah, I never thought about stuff like that either when I first got into VR.
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, I was not expecting all these like exercise is another one like that. I thought,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Mhm.
I spent a year straight every day in Supernatural. They were actually our first guests ever on the podcast, the
Oh,
coaches.
wow.
oh
Mhm.
cool.
And
Mhm.
yeah, I was in really good shape.
Mhm.
And then I stopped because I'm like, I'm in pretty good shape. And then I got to get back to it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think kind of in that same vein, I think probably one of my favorite talks I've been to ever. I went to like that year they had the VR developer conference at GDC, and there's this guy from, they call it the Putrino like lab, but basically it's like a more experimental medical lab. And they talked about how they were using VR to help patients that were suffering from like phantom limb syndrome. Like, if you get your hand cut off and you can't scratch it, like they play a video and like the benefits they were talking about, like just mentally, like people seeing that imagery was fascinating, right? And it just kind of really changed my whole idea of what VR is capable of. Right? It was a really awesome session.
Well, then what
That's
was your
what I
most...
don't like when Wookie answers that first part.
What?
I'll answer what I don't like when you answer what you do like or whatever.
What surprises me, like continually, would be the creativity of developers. Just, like the first time I reloaded a gun in like Pavlov, and I didn't know how to reload the light machine gun, and I was like, I got to think outside the box here. So PJ's hunting me down with whatever he's got, and I'm sitting there, I'm gonna figure this out. Like I'm sitting, like the game doesn't matter anymore. I'm sitting there like like a monkey, just. And then you go to stuff like Orbis VR. I'm not really I like the game. I wish there was a better feel to it, but then like trying to draw the runes to make a spell go, and I'm like, this is pretty tight. Creative things I think Cyril's, I forget the name of your Magic game, but that
Bones of Arlaf does a great job with spellcasting, by the way.
Because Orbis, like, sit there for 4 hours trying to draw that thing, and it's like so touchy. And I'm like, well, I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna have to play that one. Just the creativity of like, you know, how to. I love to creative problem solve anyway. Like my big thing is like, okay, what do I have available? Where do I want to be? And how do I fill the gap? And then go from there. And then there's just so many options in VR. You know, going without menus, cooler inventory system. Just the things people come up with is awesome. Yeah, that would be mine. Just creativity.
And is there anything that's like disappointed you two about like the way VR is developed or anything, or is there anything you want to see more of? I guess in space, like
mine's kind of like a two-edged thing because all like new hardware, new headsets, that's all awesome. But it's like I need more stuff to do, like more games to play, more experiences, more apps. It's like, let's focus more on that and help devs do more of that. I know like Meta, whatever you want to call them, is trying to get it in the hands of more people, and I appreciate that. But it's just like, I think it's going a little too fast.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. But from my perspective, and I wonder, we've asked some of you guys about this, but you know, you have a Quest, just talk about Quest for right now. Quest 1, Quest 2, a new Quest coming. Your game is supposed to be able to work on both, but then there's a third one coming. So like, how the hell, if you're going to make a game in 3 or 4 years, how do you know what to plan for type, you know,
well,
that
you
kind
don't,
of thing?
I mean, at the moment, I mean, you don't really have to develop for Quest 1 anymore. So you can kind of just
up till now, but up before that, they're like, you have to have it work on both. And like, I've heard stories of like, you know, that's a pain in the ass. Like, can't I just do what I want?
But I think,
to be totally fair, they don't even check if your shit works on Quest 1. I shipped Medieval Designer with a bug for multiple weeks that it didn't work on Quest 1 at all. And they didn't even notice.
But this is very new, though. I mean, I know that like 6
this
months
is the
ago,
past, like,
still,
exactly. It wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
They did. They were well, but that's because like you can assume that there's going to be like a 2-year cycle between like massive.
Yeah.
Right. I think like I feel like the Quest 1 probably has 1 year left before people just abandon it, right?
I think right now, like last time I read something, I think it's like 10% of the users. Like a lot of people migrated on the Quest 2. The thing that I'm super glad when I was developing Theta Legion on the Go. I started when I bought the Go, and it was in May. In June, we were pretty advanced. We developed the Theta Legion on the Go in 6 months, right? So it was a pretty compressed time scale. But in June, they announced the Quest 1, and I was like, oh, fuck. So that's the reason why Theta Legion was free on the Go. We were like, okay, we are not going to make any money. We don't want to have to kind of like keep supporting it. So we are just kind of like going to kind of like do our 4 levels, let people play it, and then see if there is a future on another platform. So I'm very glad that they slowed down. Like to go back to what PJ was saying, it's like I think Meta understands that. Like, and I understand that if they keep like sandwiching developers between two different product cycles, they are going to lose some people because, well,
it's not fun at all. It's definitely not.
We're in an interesting position. I mean, I really think people need to stop thinking about this as like a normal, like a normal console lasts like 5-6 years.
Okay.
But VR consoles, I think they're going to be 18 to 24 months dev cycles, like, or for new hardware, which some people hate, but like, we need more.
It's part of all the advancements that they're trying to add, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean that too. Like, once we get far enough that like all the sensors we could possibly add in the thermal package, and it lasts long enough, we won't need upgrades so often. But it's still so new, and like I'm still of the belief that like real VR didn't even start until the Quest came out.
Right. Like
I know people are like, oh, the CV1, but no, fuck that.
Right.
Yeah.
I love my CV.
Uh-huh.
I think the Go was a pretty good platform. Like I know it got a lot of hate because of the trade-off and things like that, but I thought that for the price point that they had, like that was my to go back to what PJ was saying. His first experience was with the Virtual Boy. Mine was with the Sega. I can't remember the name of that gigantic. It was a gigantic VR headset.
Yeah,
it was something like in the late 80s. And the Go was the first headset that I owned after that, and I was quite mightily impressed about how powerful it was. I mean, obviously it had nothing to do with the Quest, but for like the price point and the size of the package and the weight of it, it was pretty good.
The Go was the first thing I actually started like prototyping Medieval Designer on before the Quest came out.
And their SDK
I was super impressed by it at the time.
Their SDK was awesome. I mean, it was easy to get into. I mean, it was like to be completely honest. Yeah, I mean, they did a good job with that. It's too bad that it stayed alive so little.
Absolutely.
Thomas, feel free to jump in at any time with any comments.
Oh, I was just going to say the Go had one of the most comfortable faceplates I've experienced.
True. Very true.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. I've heard people say that before.
Because right now, like you guys are talking about the Quest 1, and that's what I'm on right now. And I get sinus headaches after a while of using it. And I just wish I could like Franken Go my Quest and just get that nice, comfortable cloth on my face.
Yep.
And just not sit here going, oh shit, this hurts.
Right.
Hearing you say that, man, I really appreciate, and I already did, but you've been in here a lot, hanging out with us and stuff. But if you could like tweet that out, like this podcast's so good, I get sinus headaches. Just to, I'm just
worth the price
I
of
do
admission.
try to pimp you guys out as much as I can. I'm fairly active in the VRTK Discord, and I keep telling them, come join over here because it's super cool. And I mean, obviously we're all VR devs, so trying to get people to come join the love,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of us are so busy though.
Oh, copy that. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. Everyone's on the floor now.
I'm becoming one with the floor.
Me
I
too.
can't get out.
I'm gonna stay on my chair so I don't fall.
Everyone's here.
Joined us.
Like
It's all
that
moved
was
to the
like,
floor.
Oh man,
Make it a
Come on,
floor.
Taylor.
you're the only
party.
survivor, Robert.
I will stay up here.
Oh man.
Maybe you guys could get up on the table. That'll solve it. Give me a show.
Excuse me, sir. This isn't that kind of podcast.
Yes, it is. Now it is. This is supposed to be the spicy podcast today.
The spicy podcast.
Oh yeah. You gotta drop a spicy question, Robert. My bad.
Roger, Jesus
Wow,
Christ.
he doesn't
You
even
are
know your
literally-
name, dude. He doesn't
Literally
even
not
know your
Wow.
Roger. I don't know where Roger came from. My
No,
bad.
Roger.
See Wookie.
What? I'm
I
right
don't
here.
see you at all.
No, like I
Right
said,
next to you.
I didn't really write any spicy questions, unfortunately.
Right next to you.
Too busy
Looking
trying to
at
solve
you.
a bug that it's still there, but somehow working.
As of course. That's
Like, I mean, the one thing I do have is like we're here and you guys are brothers, so I want to hear some embarrassing stories about the other.
Oh, I didn't know you guys were
Got
brothers.
it.
The fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
I had no
What was
idea.
the?
I'm on the floor. Shit.
Come on out.
I think we had to come down to the.
Oh, okay.
I'm
on the
gonna
stage.
rejoin quick.
While he's leaving, I'm going to talk about him. So we had the Baron on a couple episodes ago from Blade and Sorcery, and I was sharing the
Oh, I'm back.
story where
Yeah.
we were playing Xbox with a group, and we were playing Black Ops 2, and we were all having fun, laughing our asses off, and Wookie, like he said, he gets so focused, like if he can't kill someone or he can't make sense of something, he gets pissed. So all of a sudden, he leaves the party, he leaves the game, and we're still in party chat, and I hear a loud crack. I'm like, did you just do what I think you did? And he's like, yep. He snapped the disc in half.
Oh shit.
This was a Saturday morning. It wasn't even like we've been playing all day.
No.
But the funny
Ever
thing was,
broken
I'm
a
like,
TV like I did that day?
no. So the best part is he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go He's, fuck this. He comes back a half hour later. He bought the game again. He gets it in there. He joins it.
Wow.
And now,
Black Ops story,
dude. Holy.
yeah, Black Ops story.
That game,
And,
we were just talking about this one on the podcast.
Yeah,
that
with
game
the
pissed
Baron.
me off. 'Cause, like,
But
the net code stuff. Sorry, you're in the middle of your story.
yeah, the best part of that now, everything's digital. So it's like he'll delete a game, and that's his version of breaking the disc.
Oh, I love it.
Awesome.
It was funny, but like we just told this to some guest. I don't remember who it was.
The
but,
Baron, Blade and Sorcery.
With him,
Yeah.
it's like that game. Like you couldn't shoot things because like the net code, they were hiding lag because the hitbox was like not where the player was. And I'm like I said, I'm lasering in as the more I play, like the more accurate I get. And I'm not killing anybody. Nobody else is having this problem. I go up behind somebody and I pull the trigger, I turn around, they kill you and all this stuff. First person shooter crap.
Wow.
But then you give me the crossbow and I can hit someone through like a boarded window and they're running full speed through a building and they're like boom right through the window. Like
That's
first
crazy.
Gears of War, I was hitting people with the torque bow between like the train cars when the train would go by. So
Wow.
you're shooting, I'm like bonk torque bow, and they'd explode and they'd be like start screaming. And it'd be funny. But then this game, I just couldn't kill anybody. I had to end up like at the end of that game, I was using the riot shield. I got the gold painted riot shield. I used that so much because then I could block people when they were reloading. Then I could go kill them, and it just drove me nuts because it's like I couldn't make it happen. Like I couldn't get the controls work. It didn't bother me that other people were killing me. It's that I couldn't shoot anything. So it drove me nuts.
Have
Thanks for telling that
anything?
one.
It's your turn if you have anything to make fun of me for.
Embarrassing brother stories.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that hard. I mean, I got hundreds of them.
He's an asshole. There's a few,
Who remembers all the bad stuff? Yeah.
right? So
That's actually Wookiee.
So here's PJ and not growing up with PJ. So I got a table in my room where I put Legos and draw on, and there's a TV with a Super Nintendo, and I go to sit down on the table to play Super Nintendo. Whoop! Under my ass goes a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I sit right on it.
Oh man.
And then I go to take my socks off, and then PJ like grabs a dirty sock, shoves it in your mouth.
Oh yeah.
At least it was yours.
Yeah, well, that is true.
At
I don't
least
know
it was
how
your
that
own
was
feet.
true.
That's so
Um,
fucked up, bro.
PJ has like steel toe combat boots going through high school. So we're walking by each other like in the yard, and I'm like, "What's up, bitch?" And then he's like, "Hello," and his hello is cocking back a leg. Like if his legs are like this, his hello is cocking a leg back, kicking me in the shin so hard that it's a full half circle where my leg goes behind me with his, and I'm like, "What is happening?"
Now,
Going along with that shit is like we lived in Wisconsin. He still does. Some of the winters there are just brutal. And we had outside like a pen with a husky dog in it. We'd go feed him, dog food and pails of water. Sometimes their ice cream pail for water would be a frozen solid brick. So PJ does this, Pete Townsend move where he swings it and like launches it like a full-on helicopter. And I'm just walking there, get hit in the back with this giant ice missile. It basically picked me up and carried me into the bushes into our above-ground pool, which is, solid wall.
This is so. I
And,
thought it
like-
would be the opposite. I thought Wookiee would be the more violent one.
Maybe.
I think that's what happened. Now he is because of me, and I'm more
I
now.
Like it was so
Repressed
funny because
memories.
what I felt like, I don't remember exactly how it looked flying through the air, but it was like my pelvis was forward because of the ice bullet. My spine and my legs were both like backwards, like it was a cartoon, and I was just like along for the ride. And he just did that stuff all the time.
Jesus.
So that's
You look like a psychopath to me right now, like with your little bald head, and you're just kind of like with your dead face.
Oh man. He's coming for you, Dima. He's coming for you.
the next time you sit down to play video games, like maybe not in VR or whatever. Next time you sit down and you're just kind of flopping into the couch or whatever, just imagine a peanut butter jelly sandwich. And it's just like,
Oh.
what are you gonna do with that? Like,
Dude,
Motherfucker spend his whole lunch just making me uncomfortable. Like sitting in peanut butter. I'm sure there's more. I can come up with. That's BJ. Oh, here's a couple.
Yeah, here we go.
Don't ride in the car. Don't ride in the car with BJ, because he will roll your window down, and if there's an attractive lady jogging, he will slow down, and he will make sure like this is coming up to a stoplight or a stop sign, and he will shout out the window, "Show me titties," and then you get up to the stop sign, and you're sitting by a down passenger window when attractive jogger ladies walk like running by, looking at you, and you're like, "Hey."
I did not even know PJ anymore. I don't think this is my whole perception.
Funny. So while also riding, and it could have been the same day for me, but like, pulling up to a stop sign and hey, there's a 90-year-old lady with like a walker or some shit like on the corner there, and he rolls down your window and you're like, no. And he just says, "Hey baby, how much?" And this old lady looks at you. I'm like, I don't remember what the jogger lady looked like. I just remember seething hatred. I remember this old lady's face, like her slack jaw and her like looking, confused face looking at me, and I'm like, can't roll the window up. My screen just.
So now this is like you guys are like the Jay and Silent Bob of VR.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe.
To that point, I manage a team of techs, and we go on the road. And when I was on the team, anyone riding with me would, anytime we'd come to that scenario Wookie described, they'd hold the power window button down so I couldn't roll it down because I do that kind of stuff. But
yeah, you're gonna get shot someday.
I say nice things now. I don't say those things now.
You're a nice guy.
Nice ass. Just kidding. Was that the question?
Yes.
Oh man. Yeah.
Sorry,
Are you satisfied, Robert?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Staring at me.
That's a good. Yeah. Oh man.
Did we lose Wookie?
I think he's embarrassed.
Yeah, he just disappeared.
We're back.
Brother is shamed.
Johnny, you appear to be in the floor again.
Damn, yeah. I'm gonna hang out here until it fixes itself, I guess, right?
Ever had that sinking feeling?
Yes. Oh well. I know it well. Oh man. Don't do that. Oh.
Now, it's too bad that Wookie is not here, but the best part of his story and the best part of being a foreigner is that sometimes you don't hear the things quite the way people meant them. And when he was telling the story about you wearing stiletto combat boots, which I think is way more interesting.
Combat.
Uh-oh.
Well, so I'd
picture
probably
you with
still
your
have
high
the look.
heels and
High heels. I'm back.
He's back.
I can't walk up to the stage. I'm in the
We
crowd.
can move to the floor. That's fine.
Well, gentlemen, I've got to call it quits here because I got to go put a kiddo to bed, but so happy to be here, part of the 100th. Good to see you all.
Yeah, man.
And I know there's another big one going on next week, so hoping to see you all then.
Yeah, real quick, before you leave, anyone listening, watching Space Shape Christmas Party next Thursday, Cyril is going to have a booth in the space. It's going to be a good time.
hopefully
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to it.
Cool.
Who's
Thanks,
out,
man,
gentlemen?
for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, stopping by.
It's cool that three of us from the launch pad are hanging out
Right?
here. So,
Yeah, I dig it. I think I've probably keep in contact with the Launchpad people more than I thought, which is I think that's been cool, right? Like,
yeah. I didn't. I mean, I think it's only Thomas and you are the only ones that I ever interact with, though. I think out of the group. Apparently, one of the guys. I don't know if you remember Johnny Lou Ward or whatever.
Yeah.
The guy,
Uh-huh.
the Alzheimer's thing. Apparently, we went to the same college together.
Oh, that's wild.
I put a help wanted ad for an animator college.
Make you into a
job,
puppet.
and he like he liked it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Because it's only this college students could see it, so it's pretty interesting.
That's cool. That's cool. So alumni didn't even know. Double.
Yeah,
alumni,
didn't even know.
Right. Man.
Nice.
Man. Cool.
Small
Smooth
space.
Man.
Zero.
Oh, he's right there.
Got deported.
I'm so curious, Wookie and PJ. Are there any games you're really excited about coming up soon? Or
Did you guys watch the Upload VR showcase?
Oh yeah, that was.
I'm excited about
that's
cities. Actually, that's gonna be cool.
What was,
that's gonna
what
be
was
cool.
your favorite? What was your favorite thing from that?
Oh, let's see. That's hard. That's a tough question. They were all really.
There's a bunch of
crazy.
stuff like I'd never even heard of before, and I thought it was pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
this thing.
Chulers, since I've played it, is probably my. I know what to expect, so I'm kind of excited because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm just digging the art style so much I can't stop watching the video.
me too. Yeah. It looks fun.
Again, within the playtest, like in kind of the videos, the devs have just such a great sense of humor. So like that attracts me to a game. Like talking to you guys all the time. It's just,
Absolutely.
Interesting.
like Robert's flushing himself down the toilet.
Robert's like,
Oh my. Around and around.
what about there was a game called The Sea Garden or something? Did you guys see that one? It's like a
Yeah.
it actually impressed me a lot artistically. Like I was shit, this game looks better than mine. I was like, no.
I think I played a demo of that a couple months back, and it's very relaxing and very
Yeah, yeah,
calming.
it's been out.
Yeah.
There's a PC VR demo for a long time, I think. But yeah, I'd never heard of that one either. It's pretty cool.
I played a game today, which I don't remember if it was on the Upload VR thing or not, but it's called Beanstalker. Was that on there?
I'm not sure.
I don't.
Well, anyway, it's one of the more original games I've seen where you have these little hooks and you climb beanstalks and you like fight enemies and collect things.
Mm-hmm.
And just the way you traverse is like pretty interesting, pretty unique.
That's cool.
So
Yeah,
I
it
just
looks. Is it the one that looks a lot like the Tarzan game?
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I saw some screens of that. It looked interesting.
There's like this disembodied voice talking.
Yeah, like
Right.
Oh,
I don't
I see
him.
I don't see him. I thought he disappeared.
Oh, you don't see me?
No,
I do.
No, me neither.
just a disembodied voice.
But
This is-
other than
This is
that,
time for me to talk like that. And pretend I'm God.
Talk to a spirit.
Hey,
I know what
quick,
you've
we gotta
done
make a
last summer.
Oh,
other than that, the After the Fall Alpha was a lot of fun.
yeah,
I
that
just
game
got
actually looked pretty good.
I just today, right before we started here, got my quest code for that.
Mhm.
Did you guys see the trailer they put out that played PC, PSVR Quest versions?
Yep.
oh, that's cool.
It's
Look,
pretty
I thought
cool.
the Quest version that was pretty.
I keep
And
seeing
I-
that name of that game, and I've never seen anything of it.
It's
Oh yeah,
kinda
because everyone
like-
that tweets about it doesn't show any like footage. Like everyone, all the VR influencers, they don't.
Well, thanks to
Rocking
Wookie's advice, I did a tutorial with like all the settings, and then I did like an hour playthrough. But it's kind of like Left 4 Dead mixed with the Division. If you're an Xbox player, it's 4-player co-op, and
that sounds amazing.
you can tell when a co-op game is like made for co-op, and this game feels like that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
the only thing though is like, I'm not a big wave shooter person, so like Chulers looks fun, but it looks like a wave thing. And then zombies are all like wave shooters. So when you guys first told me about After the Fall, you're like, dude, it's like Division VR, and I don't think anybody told me zombies yet. And I was like, oh shit. And it looks like the Division VR, but then there's just zombies everywhere. I'm like, well, is it tactical at all, or is it just sort of like walk into a room, wait for the jump scare, and then shoot everything in the head until they're all gone? And I think it's
there aren't any like planned jump scares, and it's not a wave shooter. And every run, like like just on the first map I played more than once, the zombies come out of all kinds of crazy areas, so it's never the same, which, take it or leave that, but it's more like it's meant to be team-based, like your ammo's limited to a point, and certain things, like it's going to force co-op in a good way, I feel like.
Gotcha. I just like, when you say like Division, I remember, like I can cook a grenade and throw it behind the cover and do all this other stuff, but then it's zombies, and it's like, well, they're coming right at you. Coming right for us.
Tactical zombies, okay? They've got
tactical zombies.
Got strats hiding up barrels and boxes. Sneaking up on it's fine.
I mean, I played the demo for Back 4 Blood with some other friends, and it wasn't bad. But then there's things where like there's flocks of crows, and if you disturb them, it'll wake the zombies up or whatever, and they come at you. And I'm sitting there, and they're like, because I only knew one of the guys. It was like 2 of his other friends, and like, I think your new buddy's going to startle the crows. I'm like, I'm thinking about it.
I'm thinking
it seemed like the type. I'm like, they're like, don't point your gun there. I'm like, there's birds. It wasn't bad. It's just zombie games, though.
Well, speaking of zombie games, did either of you play Resident Evil 4 yet?
I don't.
No?
That's my one weakness in VR is like horror. After the Fall was fine because it's just kind of like an arcade game. I just bought Saints and Sinners. I haven't tried it because I was afraid.
Oh, it's awesome.
Like the physics are fantastic.
I like stabbing zombies in the head with screwdrivers. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty good. It feels really good, which
it's the right amount of crunchy. It makes you want to do it to a real person. Wait a minute, that sounds crazy. Don't never mind.
Sir? No, I don't want to be next to there after hearing that shit. Like,
right.
Only sane people. Robert looked like a fucking villain.
I'm behind the guy with the steel-toed boots. Yeah.
I realize how crazy that sounds now.
Right.
Say if I don't have any legs.
Ah, dang it.
Ask the Spatialite boys to get you some legs. They're just a boot. Foot track.
Good times, man.
What surprises me still, and we didn't talk about this yet, but when we were talking about, we started out like kind of a normal podcast where we're giving reviews and this and that. And then they're like, well, I'm bored of hearing us talk. Let's talk to devs. But when we started the podcast, my initial thought was, or when we started having guests, I'm like, well, how long can this really be sustainable? Because VR is such a niche.
Sure.
But I'd tell you, like, how many people contact me out of the blue, like that Beanstalker game. I didn't know it existed till today, and I got to talking to them, and they're like, "Hey, here's the code. Go play the game." I'm like, "Awesome!" I made a video.
Cool.
Hundreds of devs. Like, it is insane.
There is a lot.
2 weeks coming up this month, where it's 2 or 3 of us. So
So with Spatial Ape, they're trying to take like most of December off. They're retooling. We got a lot of good things coming out for the space and for our booth and our stuff. So they're like, what are you going to do for shows? Because we're slowing down. They're the ones that update our booth with the graphics for now. I'm like, well, I'm booked up through mid-January. We try to stay a month ahead. But what happens is all these guys have Kickstarters that pop up. And then I've this week, I've had like 10 people like, hey, we want to get on there. We want to do a podcast tomorrow. It's like, hold on. You can't do that. So
interview me now.
Yeah, we have 2 this week. We have 3 next week, and I originally had it all slated for 1 a week, and it was going to be nice and relaxing. Now it's like
nonstop.
Like that's so cool. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know all the podcasts that exist out there, but I don't see too many that talk to devs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, like, to the devs.
I joined the Mix Between Realities podcast today with Skiva and Alex VR. Mm-hmm. They had our man Tech Man Jew who was on our podcast. Good time.
Sure.
But yeah,
I've still never seen their podcast either.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're saying the same thing. Like they actually had Tech Man Jew scheduled like 8 months ago to be on their show today, but he's been on like the Playtest VR podcast, who we're friends with, and our podcast, and then theirs, and they're like kind of mad, not mad, but jokingly mad about.
Right.
It's funny, like, and we were kind of talking about like I like to have a little blanket or like a pillow to make sure we have something going on, because again, if Wookie and I just talk, it's probably not exciting.
It's not bad.
The amount of devs and games like I hear of every week is just insane.
Right.
Like, that was my initial worry. Like I was saying, like how long is this going to be a thing? How long can we do it? So pleasantly surprised. Seems infinite.
Yeah, like
then,
like wild.
I mean, hopefully we don't have some kind of crash like in regular indie games back in like 2016.
Yeah. Or the
Indie Apocalypse.
Or the old Nintendo, or the old
Atari crash.
Atari
crash. Yup. Huh?
And then to top that off, we have our monthly round table with you guys, and we have excellent people like Cyril here and like Tommy Palm from Resolution. Like we have people come back more than once with new games, and how fast you guys make games blows my mind as well. So it's just it's awesome.
Are you?
Yep. I'm still here. I don't know if you can
You're not
see me.
I can't
you're not
see
a college
Speak
professor,
to us.
are you?
I am.
At SCAD, right?
I am. Yeah, I teach at SCAD.
Yeah, dude, that's the college I went to, bro.
Oh, that's wild.
Matt Wood was my
department?
thesis committee. Sure.
Was that?
I made Sushi Ben VR. I don't know if you ever heard that game.
Yes. Well, that's pretty recent, correct?
Yeah. I mean, we just got funding.
Well, I'm so. And were you part? Who was your thesis director?
So I had it was Jose Silva, because I'm an animation student.
Okay, gotcha.
And I had
Jose. Yeah,
Shammy,
Jose
I had
very
Professor
well.
Shammy and Matt Woods on my committee.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I teach in the ITGM department. They are all my colleagues.
Yeah. I mean, we probably saw each other at Monty sitting out at the front of the... That's cool, dude, because I can't say who, but someone told me that you were also a part of something. And then they were like, I was like, that guy was a professor at my college.
Also a part of what?
Just some things I can't talk about.
NDA stuff. Right?
NDA stuff.
Yup.
Like the reverse of name dropping there.
You mean
It's like reverse. Like I can't say it.
Humble
but-
bragging.
like
Humble brag. Well, we're both.
you're talking about hardware.
Yeah, hardware. Yeah, we're talking about some awesome hardware stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
a game called Hardware.
Right.
It's
This other
interesting.
booth I don't want to share. Like,
Yeah, no, we can't. No, I just thought it was cool that like I was literally just talking about him with our one of our managers or whatever,
awesome.
and I was like, he's a professor at my college.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool.
Still. And actually, for that matter, that's the reason why I got into VR, because I'm also teaching in the AR VR major, and I was like, well, I need to do a quick product to kind of like get my feet wet, and then that's how I made Tita Legion on the go, and then from there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool. Like it's such a small world.
Right.
It is still. I was hearing you guys talk, and it's true that like we have more and more devs, and like the indie apocalypse and things like that. Like I think that there is going to be a point where the space is going to be cluttered, and we're going to start having like discoverability problems. So I think that like having kind of a first mover advantage is
right.
Yeah, right. Because like I feel like I'm super lucky getting in on, because my games genre is like not. There's basically no games like it right now.
But
in VR.
that's the point. I think I was talking with someone from Oculus today, And I mean, that's also what they want. You know, they want kind of like a wide range of offering and not just all the same games. I mean, so, but yeah, that's the moment. That's the right moment to be.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that I got because I actually graduated from SCAD. Sorry that we're kind of like hijacking the thing.
That's all right.
It's just so cool that he's actually, you know, I went to his college that he taught at. But yeah, like I just graduated in 2020. Right.
Well, first of all, congratulations. And so you were on a master, right?
Yeah. So I did my undergrad at SCAD, and then I also did my master's at SCAD, all in animation. But I wanted to make a VR game for my thesis instead. So
that's very cool.
Yeah, I took a lot of game dev classes there, and then and now I'm doing it full time.
Did you take any class in the AR VR major?
No, it wasn't. It just was getting established. I think the year before I graduated, I never got a chance to take any of those. But yeah. With
well, they both know PJ and Wookie. I talked a little bit about.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome. You wouldn't happen to be friends with Professor Duff, are you?
I know him. I don't
Momi?
know him very well.
Oh, okay.
I know Jose way more than Duff.
Okay, cool. That's awesome, dude. Anyway, sorry.
That's awesome to hear.
Right.
Am I still disembodied?
Yeah, I can't tell where you are, so I've just been trying to find.
I'm just behind you. That's kind of weird. Yeah, I think they have some bugs. Like I can see the teleport is not working anywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't work anywhere for me.
Yeah,
I don't know
it breaks if you fall to the floor like this.
Right.
It can't detect any collision.
It's funny that you guys know each other. A funny story: the Playtest VR podcast. I keep saying it's Playtest VR is his name on Twitter. And I'm really bad with names.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry.
Oculus, shit, they're gonna kill me. Anyway, we had Playtest VR on our podcast, and through our podcast, his co-host now, that's how they met. Like he heard him on the podcast, and they started hanging out. Let's Talk Oculus is the podcast. Sorry, guys, I'm an asshole. But yeah,
Let's talk Meta.
Let's talk Meta, please.
Yeah, that's. I've been teasing him for a while. Like, what are you gonna do now, buddy? Like,
Right.
has them changing, going to be changing their name to Meta? Has that affected you guys in any way, shape, or form?
Not a bit.
No, because everyone's going to still call it an Oculus for like the next years.
It's so
I hate that
it's
shit
basically
so much.
It's the Nintendo of VR, basically.
I hate it.
Is that a Nintendo? Is that an Oculus? You know,
It's
And it
a
really
Quest
sucks.
or an Oculus Quest. I hate when people call it an Oculus.
no, I think
Because
it's
people need
funny.
to be
I
curb
like-
stomped. I hate them.
You said, no,
Oh,
stop.
man.
You don't need to have no.
Maybe that's too much.
That's too much, dude. That's taking it too
End your
far.
comments a
spicy.
sentence
Too
early.
spicy.
Too much.
It's kind of a bummer, this name change with Meta. Like, I think Quest
Oculus
and
was such a
Oculus,
strong
I
name
think,
brand.
much better. And it sucks that it's happening because it feels like the Quest is going to have a really big Christmas. It looks like it's already having a really big holiday, right? So
Oh, it's fucking
a bummer.
huge.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
I don't know.
bonkers.
What a weird point to like diminish your brand
Well, I
name
mean-
when it's blowing up, right?
I mean, maybe they're just going to move away from the Quest name altogether. So, like, there might be more catchy Meta something.
Yeah, I mean,
mean-
they haven't really said what Cambria is going to be called other than that.
Oh, true.
Yeah, Meta.
That's
How does Meta sound? I mean, that's not.
Metacambria?
I mean, that sounds like mitochondria or something.
Right.
But like, I think they'll probably come up with a more catchier name for whatever the future of their.
They're going to call it the Meta Chlorian.
I see what you
I don't think so.
Yeah,
The
I think
thing-
they're
the thing
playing
that
the
I kept
lawn
thi-
game.
The thing that I kept thinking about is that I absolutely loved the Oculus logo, you know, with that kind of like O on the side was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I loved how their advertising agency used that to kind of like display some of the game and the character in the center. And like their new logo completely fucked that concept over.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's like
Uh-huh.
totally. It's just it's a weird pivot for sure. Like I mean, they
I
have the
really
analyst,
feel
they
like
have the-
it's like some kind of thing where somebody super high up was like, "We're going to change this," and and everyone below them was just like, okay, sure, we're not going to argue with you because, you know, no point.
Right. I agree.
Well, I mean, I think it's a little bit of a PR stuff. I mean, I think Zuckerberg wants to kind of like get away from Facebook and all the controversy.
sure.
And I think like he wants to kind of like reorient the company towards like the metaverse, which I believe in.
I mean, you got to adapt, you know. I mean, look what happened to fucking Blockbuster.
They got a store left.
I think that's the thing, right? Is like right now it makes no sense to us, but in 10 years,
we don't see
when
the whole picture.
everybody knows those devices as like the meta, and then when the place where you go is the metaverse and blah blah blah, then meta will make a lot. I mean, I think
in the future it's definitely going to pan out, and
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. The entire landscape is going to look a lot different in just a couple years.
True. Very true. Very true.
I mean, especially if Apple actually releases a device as well, and we get like an actual competitor.
Mm-hmm.
No, not Apple.
Nobody else. Nobody
I'm not a
likes
fan of
Apple, but no
Apple.
one
I'm
else
not
has
a
the
fan.
money to compete with Facebook.
Right. And Apple
I don't
needs
think
money,
they-
right?
I don't think Apple's going to make it cheap, dude. I don't. Think
No, that's
No, I
my
think they were
No,
doing-
no way.
They won't. Right.
But their
they can
entire
still
thing
buy
is
their
it's a
shit.
status symbol.
Right.
Yeah, but
You can have the broke bitch Oculus, or you can have the Apple, you know, look at my dick shit, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Right.
I mean,
fuck
but
are they gonna
no,
call
you're
it?
in VR. No one's going to see your headset. It's not like an.
It doesn't
iPhone.
matter,
You
dude.
walk out-
Oh,
you
they're
walk
gonna
out
have
to
some like
public and you're
stupid symbol. You know, they're gonna have some
Yeah.
like, oh, they're
Not
on
to
this
mention, like,
platform.
these headsets are also going to be AR and VR devices eventually anyway. Like, dude, I have one of the
I mean, I
real
guess
pair of
so.
glasses coming tomorrow. Like, it's going to be here before noon. I'm super excited about that.
That's
like,
cool.
By the end of the 2020s, we're going to have headsets that you can wear all day long. 100%.
Mhm.
Huh.
That'd be cool.
Super interesting. Mm-hmm. Man,
But for now, I'm going to have to
over
carry around
playing
two
The
phones.
Witcher
Very
AI.
unfortunate.
for now.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
developer in love with the fact that Quest has no competitor, because that basically means that we developed once and then everybody. Once you start having Apple, particularly if it's a different SDK and things like that, it's going.
I will not look forward to that at all.
Well, maybe we'll get lucky and they'll jump on the OpenXR stuff, and it'll be at least a little bit easier to port.
So you know Apple, you know that they are going to. It. I mean, and that's the problem, and that's the reason. Like, I mean, Apple makes great devices, like great, closed as hell, and no reason why, particularly how bold Facebook has been. Well, has been. I mean, Apple is going to want their share of the pie, and I'm pretty sure that they are going to be equally as aggressive. I'm not looking forward to have to now port whatever game we make on two platforms, like we do with Android and iOS.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like been my entire my entire reasoning behind developing solely for like standalone. Everyone's like, I've gotten the question I get the most common is like, is this coming to PC? And the answer is fucking no, because PC VR is dead. Like, I can't say that enough. PC VR is fucking dead. But it's gonna kill me to have to do it on Android and iOS. It's gonna be a pain in the ass.
That's the same thing. Like,
know.
PC VR is dead. Sorry, Dima.
I mean, there's always going to be those like enthusiasts, right?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna have
Yeah,
the
sure.
niche people who want to
Yeah,
want to
like,
drop
people-
$3,000 on a machine.
Your 70,000 consumers, maybe. Okay,
I'm not saying
I'll
I'm
pass
not
on
saying
those. You can
should-
keep those.
No, I'm not supporting those.
Right.
I mean, we are going to release on. We are releasing on PC, but like,
Eh.
obviously, our core market's mobile. So
Yeah.
But what people don't
I'd much rather try to optimize heavily from the start for mobile and then maybe port it to PC where it'll run like heaven, you know?
Right,
Yeah.
I hear.
But that's what's waiting for us once Apple gets in the game.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm looking forward to that or not. I don't know. I'm really curious what the size of their market share is going to be. I also want to know who is what devs are Apple talking to right now that are like work.
Anyone big that
working?
Facebook hasn't bought.
See,
Yeah, but,
that's probably the
that's
answer.
So
yeah.
few. That's so few people. Like,
I really feel
Right.
like it's very fascinating to watch the industry mature in real time, because like it seems like we're seeing a lot of like publishers and shit like that pop up relatively
Right.
quickly.
I mean, yeah, Servios just becoming, or Servios, I can never pronounce their name. Them just becoming, you know, a big publisher, and then Fast Travel.
Yeah.
I'm also seeing tons of publishers. Like, I'm getting publisher emails from people that are like not VR publishers,
really,
all the time.
Yeah, that's gonna be
a lot of companies that are getting into
There's
it.
going to be a lot of money poured into it in the next couple of years. Like, and that's the thing too, like where you're saying like we need more software, we need more fucking money.
That was going to be my argument. Yeah, right. Like,
really, I feel like it's much easier to get funded through VR than it is.
Well, but
then explain to me why there's $12 in my bank account.
You're the top 1% of projects, though, D-Bot. Like, not to disrespect you. Like, your funding journey is so like storybook compared to the rest.
I'm getting like survivor bias. I'm starting to feel like I'm feeling a little guilty.
Well, you should feel guilty, but yeah.
Because like, I don't know.
I'm super happy for the way things are going for you, but it seems so like unobtainable.
Fair.
Yeah, I can't have opinions on this because my perspective is ruined. Because to me it seemed, because like one of the things I thought was interesting about VR when I was getting into it in 2016 is when I really started doing it full time or whatever, was that like there's more money. I thought it would be easier to get funded if I did like a VR game, because there's so much more people that were interested in the tech, and just like the idea, compared to like, because the competition is massive in the indie space as it is. It's a super oversaturated market, and VR, the market is, it's not that massive yet. It will be.
It should be easier to get funding in VR indie because
it really should.
It's a larger install size with a lot less developers.
Right. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say is like I think you still have a higher chance than if you were like a PC indie dev or
100%. Yeah. Like I agree.
But and I think it's the landscape's changing quickly. Like I'm telling you guys, bigger publishers are getting into this market, and they are definitely wanting to fund.
To bring things back around, I think what we need to happen here is get the VR Verdict podcast big enough so they can become a VR publisher.
There we go. I like it.
Yeah, there we go.
I was going to say, if you guys can help us figure out how to make money doing this, because I pay for everything out of pocket at a loss.
Do you have shirts yet?
Shirts.
I've been thinking about that.
You
got to get that merch, man.
Yeah.
I've had developers say, like, why can't you do a podcast? And I'm like, well, I have a 45-hour work week job too.
Right. I think that's kind of the weird thing to me about the VR space, and because definitely, I'm sure we all see that there's more interest. It's just weird to me how much interest it seems like there is, how much money must be there, but how much we're all kind of struggling generally to get money. It's weird.
Don't look at me when you say
that. I'm sorry. No judgment, but
full judgment.
I mean, you guys I've gone through that just completely didn't get my game at all, though. Like,
oh, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I don't get your game either, but I still enjoy it.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm not a weeb.
Well, yeah. It'll appeal. It's definitely going to the people who don't like anime for sure. Like,
sure.
I hope so. Yeah.
It's super interesting because, like, the first time I saw your panel, I got it instantly. It's like, in a manga, fuck yeah, right? That's it. Yeah. I feel like if I showed it to my nephews, they'd get it right away. But like, it's almost you're either gonna love it as soon as you see it, or you're not, right? It's kind of.
I just love your game from a tech point of view. Like, the panels are amazing.
Yeah, the tech behind
and
the
art itself. Like, every time you like post some of your stuff, I'm like, holy shit, this looks incredible.
Yeah, I mean, my whole time when I was in college was developing that, the tech and doing all that stuff. And, like, even Epic is impressed by it. Like, they're like huge fans of it. Huge fans of like the stuff that we did for that. So, that's my crowning achievement, right? It's like developing the tech for the panels and then implementing it.
It's awesome.
So I don't have any questions because I was busy. Johnny, come on, you got to ask more. We got to bring this back around.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was trying not to derail the re-screw the conversation.
I got a question. How about this? What's your least favorite VR? What's your what VR game? No, I don't want to say least favorite. What game made you the most sick in recent? Like any games make you guys super sick?
Only
So
time
go for it, Woogie.
what was that one that's kind of like Destiny with the jumping in the bow? It was like a shooter game, kind of looked like Destiny.
I'm trying to. I knew you were going to say that. I'm trying to think of the goddamn name. I was just playing it.
Resist?
No, it's made by. It looks kind of like Borderlands, and it's made by a famous group of
Is
devs.
the grapple? Is it the grapple game with the grapple gun and you're like
No, it's an older game.
Jupiter
That's
Grad?
older.
Yeah, like no, it's probably not. It's probably not that one. I don't think it's that game.
I know it if I heard it, but I can't remember. And if I have a headache, my eyes will get tweaked. So I already had a headache, and Peter says, "Got to try this game." So while I was playing, it was great. As soon as I took it off, I'm like, but like back in the days of GoldenEye, I'd brush my teeth, get right back to playing with the
I love it.
Not even kidding. Just be like, match over. Be right back.
That's wild.
But it's only certain things. But that I already had a headache. That game did it.
That's interesting. What
That
about
was
you,
ages.
PJ? You get anything make you sick, or you got the strong?
Yeah, with the iron
games?
stomach, right?
Yeah, so I have a funny story about that. When I first got into VR, we got it on a weekend, and I did all the stuff you're not supposed to do. I played for 8 hours straight. I really didn't drink anything, all that stuff. I went to work the next day, and I swear to God, like, it felt like I was watching myself from a third-person perspective.
I've been there.
The next 2 days at work were like, I was just kind of hovering on a cloud, watching my body do what I tell it to telepathically.
This is all a simulation.
But
Yeah.
after that, I haven't had anything since.
wow.
Like I was talking about that Beanstalker game where like you're looking up and you're like really, really high off the ground and you can see the ground. So it's kind of like I said in the video, like this isn't for the faint of heart. And then I jumped off the beanstalk and I caught another one. Like the game we're trying to think of the name for, like you can jump really high and I'll be spinning around like shooting people and like the only time I get a little twinge is if I like physically take a step forward and I'm like moving forward at the same time. I'll get a twinge, but nothing.
Yeah.
Interesting, because like
I've played a lot of alphas and betas that are janky.
that's what I was saying. Because you guys play like probably more VR than most people. So I was just wondering like if any of those recent like test demos or anything have made you just kind of like I want to hurl or anything.
Like the loading screens are a big thing. Like if you're looking at it and like you turn your head and it moves with you, that's not good. But
It was the demo for like Dash Racing. It had like a nice logo and everything, but the loading screen was like a crispy, crunchy version of that. It's like the loading screen would pop up into my eyes. It'd be like, oh,
yeah, that's
trying to shut my eyes and physically cover my eyes, but there's nothing to cover. I'm like, no,
you can't block the light. Interesting.
Gunheart is that game.
Gunheart.
Gunheart. I don't think I ever heard of that one.
Very good game.
pretty cool.
Is very one of not originals, but 2017-ish. Still holds up. Still good. Yeah, I remember Wookie was using the sniper rifle and you're squinting really hard, and we were kind of new to VR, and I think that ruined your eye for.
I had a headache already. I was like, this is gonna be bad. But sniping gets me because like my brain will like try to soak in all those pixels, like trying to find stuff, and it'll tweak me out. Like in a new flat screen game, frame rate will get me weird like that.
I'm looking at the frame rate of Spatial Ape right now. We're sitting at 69. Nice.
Yeah. A weird thing though with me, like I'm a big advocate of options in games.
Yeah.
Snap turning can like make me. It doesn't make me nauseous, but it doesn't feel good. I like
weird.
turnings.
I love snap turning more than smooth turning.
And
I'm the same.
brain
I'm the same way.
wants to
I'm a snap turning
I
guy.
can't stand snap turning. It's awful.
And
It feels so
I was-
unnatural.
Yeah, I was playing a game, trying to think of it. But anyway, like the the smooth turning, like there wasn't a speed option, so it was like really slow, and my brain was just like,
oh yeah, when it's like if there's smooth turning, it like I've made myself like when I was first learning how to do stuff like that, dude. I made myself sick for like a day, like a full day. I was done. I couldn't move. I had to lay in the bed the whole day because I was messing around with smooth turning. I had no idea what I was doing.
It's like my wife. I've said it many times in podcasts. Can't do VR. Like she gets motion sick watching a movie sometimes.
Oh no.
He was playing what's the VR, the escape room where you're sitting in a chair? The second one just came out.
Oh, I Expect You to Die?
Yeah. She can't even play a game like that where you're not really doing anything for more than like 20 minutes, and she'll just get a massive headache. So a couple of the devs that know me really well, they're like, "Hey, have your wife try this, see if this helps or not." And I'm like, "Nope, she's not going to touch it."
That sounds hot.
She's not going to test it for you.
Yeah. But it sucks because she really she hears and sees the fun I have, and she'll play a little bit here and there.
I wonder. So you think it's like, has she tried anything that's like non-action packed or just like a casual? Like if she came in Spatial Ape right now and was just chilling, would she be okay?
So I think this would be all right, but I think what it might be, I've been telling her, like, you try the Quest 2 more. Because when we were testing, well, before it came out, Loco Dojo, Wookie and her and I played, she played a 45-minute game and she only felt kind of bad, which was a huge win. So I'm like, maybe it's just the refresh rate. So I'm trying to get her into the Quest 2 more. Because
seems like a lot of times that can be solved by refresh rate. Like, it's 72 is fine for most people, and then like 90 is good for like 99% of people, and then
there's like the game Ragnarok where you're just banging on drums.
Yeah.
She loves the hell out of that game, and she played that one for like a half hour and then had to stop. But stuff where you don't have to do much does help, but she still gets affected.
Interesting, because like I'm definitely trying to like have as many options as possible to make my games like accessible as possible. Because like I don't have like crazy like high octane gameplay, right? It's all very casual, walk around, look at stuff, catch some bugs, talk to people, fishing. This is like use her as a guinea pig maybe. But don't let her know she's a guinea pig.
I'm gonna start pimping her out.
Yeah, start pimping her out. Because like I don't know anyone that's that motion sick prone, so I would love to have. I gotta find someone who just gets sick really easy and then.
It's awesome because she'll play Switch games with me all day. Like she's very competitive and old school, but she can't play like any 3D game on a flat screen, or some movies give her problems. So.
Yeah. I mean, my wife won't touch VR at all. Like she'll play she plays like PC games like Apex and stuff like that, but she won't touch VR at all. I can never get her to try stuff out.
No.
Interesting.
I find it weird that my wife gets like car sick, but then VR doesn't bother her at all.
Really?
Maybe it's your driving.
Yeah.
To be fair, I've heard that before.
I could see Robert being like a brutal driver, bro. He just fucking murders.
Hey, man, I've never gotten in an accident that was my fault.
Yeah.
Yes.
Damn.
I've been rear-ended plenty of times. People suck.
I think it's because you stopped. It's probably because you just stopped in front of them.
Hey, maybe they shouldn't have been following so close.
Yo, I got
Just fucking
rear-ended.
stomp.
I got rear-ended at a Chick-fil-A drive-thru one time.
Oh no.
Same, actually.
And I was sitting still, and they were like, I don't know, they just kind of like just started pushing me forward, and I was like, the fuck?
It was
like,
probably Robert driving backwards.
Yeah, it was probably
right.
I wouldn't be at a Chick-fil-A in Georgia.
Oh, hey, now I gotta get my Jesus chicken somewhere. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is the Lord's chicken.
That's the Lord's chicken, and I gotta get it once a week. All right, I don't have a choice.
I don't have a choice.
I'm still in Savannah. Cyril, you in Savannah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
I'm sorry for both of you.
Savannah is very, very fun. Savannah is a great city.
Yeah, it's a fun. If you like to go out and if you like to go downtown and stuff, Savannah's awesome.
Yeah.
Great city.
I just don't like Georgia.
No, but Savannah
not like
is.
Georgia.
I think Savannah is to Georgia what Austin is to Texas. It's it's a little
Savannah.
bubble.
Yeah, it's like a blue bubble. Like it's not.
Okay, so it's more modernized. It's not, the fucking banjo people.
No.
Savannah is very.
Like when I lived in
good.
Georgia, I never went to Savannah, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't know.
It's a gorgeous city. It's very pretty.
Yeah.
It's full of it's gorgeous architecture. You can walk everywhere.
Yeah,
It
it's a
has
walking
bars
city.
everywhere.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's I come from France, and I like my European cities very much. And Savannah, I used to say that Savannah is the most European city I've ever lived in America, and I lived in quite a bunch.
Yeah, it is. It's totally
But
different. So you should definitely, if you're ever in Georgia again, come visit. Come down.
Yeah.
We'll go to the Crab Shack. We'll go.
All right, Dima, I'm coming to visit.
Cookie and I were there a couple of years ago and did a tour of the whole thing, and that was really cool.
Ghost tour.
Oh, cool.
No, it was just the whole. They have those buses.
Oh, you did the trolley tours.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, now they have like these beer cart, like these little like what are they called? I don't know. They're like carts that you pedal and drink beer.
Oh, I've seen them.
And you just like you're like pedaling.
If you're still in Savannah, you should reach out to me so that I can send you an invite. I have a huge Discord server for all my students and all my classes.
Oh yeah.
With a whole bunch of alumni, and when the quarter starts again, we used to have Taco Tuesday, Taco Thursdays.
Oh,
with
nice.
alumni and things like that. So definitely.
Yeah, we should go out. We should hang out sometime and do that.
That way you can try the next version of Shock Troops.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
dude, that would be
man.
awesome.
Which should be out. We should be next week. We are
nice.
working on finishing the second mission now.
Okay, I'll hit you up on Twitter. I already follow. I
The third.
think I already follow you on Twitter, so I'll just at you or something.
Yeah, just send me a PM and I'll shoot you an invite.
So-
I'm actually
Sorry,
going
guys, y'all
to.
can't come.
I'm actually going to jet out because I have a shit ton of stuff to do. But thanks for having me around, guys.
Yeah, man, it was awesome
good
finally
fun.
getting
Good
to meet you.
Nice to meet you, even though I can't see you right
It's
now.
nice to meet you too.
Yeah, it's like I'm like, where is he? I don't know.
He's right here, right next to you.
Incorporated.
All right.
Yeah.
And so next week, what's going on next week? You say it's a Christmas party.
Christmas party here. You have your booth, and I think that's their last show till February. Their last trade show till February. They were going to retool, get out on App Lab. They're trying to give us. There's going to be a flat version people can join if that don't have VR that they can come in.
Oh, that'll be.
They're trying to give us access to make our own booze and do our own updating, so it'll be better response. So all kinds of fun.
The spaceship guys are great, but I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
A better experience because it's pretty rough right now.
I might volunteer to model you a new set or something.
That'd be awesome. We were just talking about designing one, so
Thank you, guys.
That's cool.
thanks, man.
Yep, see you, Cyril. Bye bye.
Bye, Sarah.
Wherever you are. Bye.
Cool. Like when I came to the podcast, I wasn't sure that was the guy that teaches at my college or whatever. So I was like,
Yeah. He's one of my favorite devs we've met. He's been on twice. He's such a good guy. His games are awesome. Like
All right, so what's the next question? Hey, I have feet again. This is cool.
yeah, it's like every time someone leaves, you get like feet again.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that's it, right?
And I'm like just a foot taller than everybody else.
You're a tall guy.
So,
Can we all
I
just
wonder-
rub PJ's head? Congratulations
it.
on 100, guys.
Give him 100 rubs for 100 episodes.
right. Yeah, naturally. Right.
I just like the fact that you can see under people's heads in this.
yeah.
Of course.
Get close enough, you can see under people's under their hair.
I just keep
Not
walking on
connected.
top of. I'm only just walking on top of them.
That's all.
Damn dog. I'm up. I am the Omnicube. I don't know if you guys saw my.
Omnicube.
Did you guys see? You probably. I don't know if you saw the film fest that I was a part of a few weeks ago. The Rain Dance VR Film Fest. Because I made a custom avatar for VR Chat, and it's like me as like VR Jesus, and I'm like.
Oh yeah, I did see
Oh,
that.
you
yeah.
showed us that with the clouds, right?
Yeah.
And the picture, there's a picture of me in VR Chat in this big group of people, and I'm in the dead center of this like red carpet photo room, and I'm like just a big floating Jesus. I made my avatar super tall so it'd be floating above everyone, and I'm just like Jesus, hello.
Oh, that's
beautiful.
amazing.
The best. I'll link it in the chat later when I find it.
Please do.
My arrogance knows no bounds.
That game dev ego, man.
Yes,
Right.
You're either shit or God.
Right? Well, Baron. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
my imposter syndrome is like basically gone at this point. Like before, like
Yeah, I mean, when you sign giant deals like that, it must be pretty easy.
well, I'm not signing that. That deal
Oh,
is
man.
bad. Well, I'm gonna offer a different deal.
Yeah.
There's no way I can
counter
make
offer. You're offering me too much money.
Right. Give me half.
There is such a thing as because you
believe
can't like recoup it. Like so, like if you
All right.
like if you get to there's like a ceiling, right, where if you get
Right.
too much, you're never gonna. It's gonna take you like a long time for you to actually make money. 'Cause
Right.
you have to.
Yeah, I get that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because like the kind of deals that I'm looking for are like a 70-30 split, and then once they recoup, it flips.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
I think that's
Mhm.
to me that's the best possible. Like that's the best
Yeah.
ratio.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm.
So, but if you did like 50-50 or something, then it's gonna take you so long to make
Right.
any money.
Right.
Unless you sell like bazillions of copies, unless you're like just selling Beat Saber levels of.
Right. Right. Mhm.
So, yeah.
I wanted to ask you, PJ and Wookie, like, is there anything you two have learned or that surprised you? Like talking to, like you've talked to, probably not 100 devs, right? But you've talked to, well, maybe
a
more
lot.
than 100 devs, right? But yeah, you've talked to like plenty of devs, right? Like, is there anything you've like learned and that's been surprising about kind of learning about like devs and over the course of this podcast, or?
There's a variety of ways to do stuff, which is always neat to see. Because we got some devs that are just like a dude in a computer in a
Right.
headset, and then you've got people with 6 to 30 man teams.
Right.
You've got people struggling to find money, people rolling in
Come on.
McDuck money. It's just a neat,
I'm gonna feel
neat
guilty. I'm just like,
spectrum.
what have I done?
I mean, it's all good, man. When you make your like $1 million, you can just become a publisher too.
Yeah, that's right.
There
So,
we
like,
go.
Just guys, wait. Just give me a few years.
Yeah,
I'll be a
and then
publisher.
we know a guy
Right.
on the inside, and
We
we'll
know
be
a
good.
guy.
You'll
Yeah,
be the Adam
offer you
Sandler, and you'll have your
awful deal.
posse.
Right.
I just like to see your cube turn red from blushing. That's all.
Right.
Your corners are
Don't
pink.
look at me. Oh, good.
To answer your question, Johnny, we were talking to Ashwin VR, who is the dev of District M and
Mhm.
an Indian team.
Mhm.
We were talking to him on the podcast, and we started to get off as we normally do on tangents. And
Mhm.
we heard he had his window open, and we heard like a horn honk. But apparently over there, like they have custom fancy horns.
Oh,
And just
wow.
hearing the different things from the different regions has always been interesting to me. And we were talking to him about it, like how he couldn't really make I don't want to misspeak, so forgive me if I do, but like an Indian driven game because it won't do anything. It won't go
Right.
anywhere, which is sad because I like to see games from different regions and have the
Right.
variety and, all the can't think
Yeah,
of the
just-
word, but influences.
I get it.
Diversity,
Right.
yeah, the influences.
I mean, just
Right.
from architecture alone, just seeing like
Right.
especially Indian architecture, a game
Right.
like that'd be amazing. So we did a Holly VR game, mini like multiplayer arena shooter where you like color people.
Nice.
For a game jam one time because one of our team members was from India and he was like, "Yeah, let's do something like that," and it was so much fun to make the assets for that.
Yeah, it's like not even the stuff like just their architecture, just the way they might approach
Right.
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that
too,
differently.
yeah.
Like I wouldn't have
Right.
thought of that, but going all Splatoon on somebody or something.
Right.
But it was kind of sad that you mentioned that one, PJ. It was just really sad. Is like the game I want to make wouldn't sell in the States, so it's a no-go. And it's like,
I don't know though, right? Because like I think of like Guacamelee, I was really in love with that, right? And like, how often do you see like a South American like based brawler like beat 'em up, right? Like, and that was platformer, and that was awesome. And I guess I kind of think of, I don't know if Jade Empire counts. I'm not sure how much BioWare was influenced, but like to me, like being in those worlds and those spaces, like and like it felt different, right? And so.
And yeah, some people you'd self-limit it too, but like I don't know what game he said he would want to make or whatnot, but get some pretty weird.
Yeah,
stuff
I would love to see any kind of like foreign game inspired by like whatever culture they're from. You know, like
Absolutely.
I find that way more interesting than not having that type of stuff.
Right.
Because then you just end up with shooters and zombies and it's like, if you play 10 shooters and that's all you know, and you're like, I want to make games.
Right.
I want to make my version of the shooter, and it's like, well, there's 50 of those. Like, you could be 10 miles ahead, but you're still 5 miles behind because there's 50 other ones. So
yeah, it's tough. It's definitely tough to get out there with a shooter at the moment.
True.
And don't get me wrong, like the whole reloading in VR is so much fun.
No, shooter shooting in VR is like made together. Like they belong together. Like that's like got to be the most appealing like stuff ever. Like there's nothing, it's just a lot of games out there.
In that moment,
I still think that's what we're gonna do next, even though it's pretty saturated.
Yeah, because it's fun. Their games are fun. They're just fun.
You sight up on PJ and you push the A button and your clip drops out and you got one round and you miss. Like, shit.
Yeah, that's so
like,
cool. Just that kind of like,
that
kind of stuff is awesome.
Yeah. It wasn't kind of your question earlier, Johnny, but my most hated thing of our whole experience are fucking time zones.
Yeah, time
zones are the worst.
Because we offer, like, when I start talking to like a dev I haven't talked to, I'm like, hey, I like your game. I like, if you want to come share it in your dev stories of development and stuff like that, we'd love to have you. Then we ask the question, what time zone are you in? So we offer, like, our normal show is Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central.
Mm-hmm.
But then we offer, like, anytime during Saturday. We normally try to do it early because we're kind of early birds, and that normally matches with other countries. Like,
right.
Yeah, you guys wake up ridiculously, or at least you do. Like,
4:30 is insane. What is wrong
why?
with you?
Like, 4:30. Yeah, why do you wake up that early?
Well,
he's gonna play all these VR titles.
No. So I've changed jobs in the last year, and now I'm kind of in management. So I work like 10-hour days, which is actually kind of short for me. So I kind of have
really? Holy shit!
Half Fridays off.
Yeah, we really need to get the podcast up better for you guys. So you can sleep until 6 in the afternoon like D-Moth.
Right.
I just fart out $1 here and
there. Even on my days off though, like I get up 6 o'clock is sleeping in for me. Like I get up, and I'll go to bed.
Morning, dude.
I sleep till noon regularly. I
don't have enough time in the day to do what I want, so I make the day long. Like I sleep 6 hours, which if I'm lucky.
Also comes with age when you're like, I need to do more. You just stop. You just cut your sleep short.
That's like
how late are you up troubleshooting stuff, Robert? Like 3 a.m?
Yeah, that's true. I'm up super late. I'll probably go to bed when you wake up usually.
We've in our group chat we've kind of come across the line, like Robert's going to bed, PJ's getting up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's
I have a very unhealthy sleep schedule though, so
that whole 6-hour thing's interesting to me because like I kind of don't like I've been trying for the past year I've been trying to sleep 8 hours every day because I'm able to or whatever, but I don't really like it. I think
I don't either.
I don't feel like I need that much sleep.
What I've found is that 7 hours is perfect for me because any less and I feel like shit, and any more and I feel like fucking ass. So
right.
Yeah, it's awful.
What's the difference between ass and shit?
Well, you see, one of them smells a lot worse.
In that context, though,
Oh, I mean, I don't know. And one, I just feel like I want to go back to bed, and the other one, I just feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm not very productive. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Or like I feel like I make a lot of mistakes if I sleep less, and if I sleep too much, I feel like I spend too much time on one thing. Like yeah.
It's so hard for me to get started if I sleep too much. Like I feel like
That too. It's a fucking problem. I hate it. The hardest part about doing anything is starting it.
Yeah.
Which is why I weigh 295 pounds.
I've been there. I feel you.
I was gonna say that like before my job changed, like I got up. I'm really debating getting up at 4 because I used to work out in the mornings, but my whole routine got messed up. So I used to get up super early just to do that before work because
that's what I thought. I thought it was like a work thing or something.
Yeah.
I try to work out at night, but it's like the gym is like a mile from my house, but it's so fucking hard to take the time off.
Right?
Yeah, that too. But you can't do weight training in VR really.
Oh yeah, you can. There's a whole the gym. I'm gonna forget his name, but he's here all the time. The gym guy.
Unless you have somebody watching you, you can really mess up.
That sounds dangerous. Yeah, that sounds dangerous. I mean, your VR should be checking your. Well, I guess you can't check your back and all.
Yeah, there's the inverse kinematics, but there's no like joints. If you had sensors on all your joints, be like, hey, you need to keep a 90 angle here. You're really going to hurt yourself because, like,
I would kill myself if I did weight training with a headset.
Well, like Supernatural, you're swinging bats. It's basically Beat Saber, but like an exercise version. And if people aren't careful, you can like hurt a cuff, a rotator cuff. That you're doing squats to dodge.
Also,
stuff.
like,
it's dangerous.
I spend a lot of time per day in VR as it is. I don't think I want to work out VR in VR.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, the headset's always on my fucking head. So.
Good point.
I mean, that's what I'm attributing to the reason why I'm going bald is because like my headset is just pulling my hair out.
I don't think it's that for me. I've been losing my hair for years. There's just a fucking spot right on the back.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I'm just getting a bigger forehead over, and my forehead.
Take as many pictures as you can now.
Nah, man. The plan is just like make enough money with games so I can get like hair transplants.
Oh, so you'd be like Elon, or like Elon.
Goddamn
Elon
right.
Musk was like looking. Really
he was
rough
looking
there.
fucking rough back in like the
looking
late '90s. Oh yeah.
But then he got his hair back quick. Like
yeah, dude, his fucking hair looks like a cat attacked his head and like
dude,
left a couple hairballs.
That's so funny. Yeah. Like that's how you know it works. You just got to be rich enough to afford it.
I have a skull shaver. 5 minutes every morning, like not even 5 minutes in the shower. Psst, psst,
yeah,
I'm done. Like
see, my wife told me I'm not allowed to shave my head, so I thought about that already. But
you just got to spring it on her, then she'll get used to it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
just come out of the shower one day.
I don't know, man. I would not do well dating right now. Fuck that.
Shaving your head, nothing else.
Just shave it all off, put it back on, and walk up to her and just sneeze and have it all fly over. Like, what the fuck? And then she'll be like, "Holy shit!" And you
could just shave it.
What sucks is I've donated to Locks of Love. Like I've donated because I used to have super long hair. I've donated 3 times in my life, and now I'm trying to find out where that went to get it back.
Right? Can I get that back?
Can I find my hair?
No.
Everyone's always after me to get that shit.
Yeah, the first time I did it was so weird because the air pressure on your head is so weird. Like I was walking funny when I left the barber.
Yeah, I remember that. I used to have long hair as well, and it's like once you get like if you go from like super long hair to getting all of it cut off, it's a super weird feeling.
Yeah, I mean my hair is like super long right now, so it's feel that.
I think the first
you're gonna be one of those guys. With the long hair and the bald spots.
Yeah, no, it's like my forehead is. I'm gonna look like Benjamin Franklin at some point, and then.
Yeah, you could do worse,
If you're getting all that money, you could go find Elon Musk.
Yeah, I go find me a blood boy at that point.
Just sneak that in the contract. Also, $100,000 for hair transplant.
Yeah, I need $100,000 for hair. I gotta pay back those
Tesla rug that we're talking about, like a Tesla rug.
Yeah,
it's a solar panel.
It has Wi-Fi and shit.
Oh, that's good.
I think all my profits are going to go back to paying my student loans, though. That's the problem.
I'm so glad I didn't go to college. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
No shade on Cyril over there, but I'm broke. My college.
That was an expensive school, wasn't it?
Yeah, SCAD's up there in the top tier.
Did you go to college, Johnny?
I did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and student loans still suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your
exactly.
degree in? Because he went for animation, right?
Game and simulation programming.
Okay.
I mean, at least he got like a programming degree, which you can actually,
Yeah.
turn into money.
And to bring it all back around, what about you guys? Degrees?
I went to school twice. I have a graphic design degree and a 3D animation degree from Full Sail.
Oh, wow.
Oh hell yeah, Full Sail! Give me
Touch that pod.
Touch that pod.
And PJ?
Graduated high school, and that was it.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I was gonna go to Full Sail at one point.
I thought about that at one point, but I was like, fuck student loans.
It's bad. The trick is,
Yeah.
have your dad put them in his name and his social security number only, and then have him die on you.
This got really
gosh.
weird
Yeah,
and
I
dark.
like
All right.
Yeah, that's the
worked.
plan. It worked.
It worked.
Fair, you know.
I think
Full Sail
in
was
our,
cool, but
I mean, in our generation, I think you kind of obviously we were all told to go to college. Plus the internet wasn't as information wasn't as accessible. Like if I wanted to go to if I wanted to be an animator, I couldn't Google that shit back in 2008.
right.
You know, like there was not a whole lot of info out there to do that. So
Yeah.
you did kind of have to go to college to learn that. But now it's a little different. You know, if you can't afford college, I don't think you should. I don't think you should go.
Now there's Unreal is open to indie devs, and there's Unity,
Right.
which you just
True.
you can just go do, which you couldn't
Right.
then. So I was just really curious, and like,
Yeah.
I don't know, shit. I graduated in like 2003. Holy cow!
Mhm.
But like it's a lot of fun to go to those schools. At least back then, I don't know what it's like now. But like I miss the
No, they're fun as fuck, dude.
I miss one of the I miss one of the dudes that did like Gollum animations, and then the guy that did the cloth on Yoda's cloth during his sword fight.
Nah,
I
That's
miss
cool.
those guys by like months, like a couple
Wow.
months. And there's just a lot of cool stuff about that, but it's just so.
I mean,
expensive.
like networking alone from college has been great. Like,
True. Right.
just like it was just tons of fun. Like, I was not a very disciplined person. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I kind of I fucked around in college way too much, but my master's degree, I buckled up and stopped fucking
Like-
off. But
that old Dragon's Lair. You guys familiar with that old cartoon game?
yeah,
There was like a Dragon's Lair game way back when.
yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
super famous game. Yeah,
And it was like a
It's
3D
the whole
one, and
plot of
there's
Stranger Things, right?
yeah, really.
yeah.
There's a room in like the 3D Dragon's Lair game that came out
Mhm.
late 90s or whatever, and like you're running through the room and you try to go in these doors, and as you try to do something, the cabinets, I guess they feel like Disney cabinets, they like run up and block holes so you can't get in there. It's
Oh,
a
that's
weird
cool.
puzzle. I went there with the guy, young guy at the time, Iranian dude, and he called
Mhm.
himself the Prince of Persia. But he made that room. He had that idea. He made that room.
Oh, that's awesome.
cool.
And then he was like, he just left the school. He was like, dude, the games industry is too volatile. I'll never make any money, even though I'm the only one here with
Well-
like, game experience. He's like, we'll just never, the chances are so low. He just bitched out.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
It's a feels bad, and he wouldn't be wrong. Like he wouldn't.
Oh,
it's not
right,
wrong.
right.
It's
Mhm. Yeah, I
spooky
definitely-
as balls.
Right.
Yeah. And then, like one of the instructors, I never heard of NERBs before I went there, like for the
Oh,
movie
for sure.
classes
Oh, really?
and stuff. So like, I went in this one class and did NERB stuff, and this lady,
Mhm.
the lady lab instructor, was like, "Those are the best eye patches I have ever seen," and I'm just sitting there fucking around. I'm like, "Oh, thanks." My work got in the instructor's book. He's like, "I'm making a book about all this stuff. Can I use your model? Like, can you send me
Oh,
a paper?"
that's
And I was like,
cool.
"Sure." Never got a copy of the book. I probably should have. It was a ton of good experiences, but then it's also like automating stuff. I had a friend that worked at Telltale Games, and then another friend that worked in something. He went into business. He worked for Giovanni Ribisi, the actor, after he was in Avatar. He did like a 3D upscale company or whatever. He worked for him, and I think he's still doing that stuff. And me automating stuff, like making software work better for businesses, I make double both their salaries.
I bet.
It's like, shit, that's hard. That's really hard too.
Right.
to go back and switch. So now I just tinker on the side.
For sure.
Game devs. It's like
Yeah, I could definitely make more money doing automation software because that's like my background, but
Invincible, Robert.
it's not worth it.
It's
Your
if
Phantom
you got a gig
Robert.
where you get money.
Phantom Robert. now.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
You're God now, basically. You finally
Can't see
achieved your
you.
dream.
You're inside Serenity. You are the ship.
Bow
You
to me,
are
you
the
fuckers.
metaverse.
Okay.
Ice is God. Dude, he's Old Testament. He'd be Old Testament, man. He'd be smiting people.
Yeah, for
Plague.
straight up.
I will
Easily,
smite everyone.
easily.
I will curb stomp. I will
If
do everything.
you can't use an iPhone, your pillar sought immediately, right?
Pillar himself.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. I hate the elderly, so you know.
He's just gonna go screwdrivering people.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm invisible.
It just broke. When you disappeared, I fell through the stage. Like, boop, I'm back
Wow.
down to normal size. It's all fun. Without bugs, we wouldn't have good games.
Yeah, right? Some of the best moments in gaming are bugs.
True.
Does it work if I come back? Probably not.
Yeah, it should. You join. Yeah,
Well, I left and came back already. I mean, am I still invisible?
Yeah, you're still invisible.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
God damn it.
Wow.
Yeah, but I would totally agree. I think that, like, I do a public speaking to students and stuff, and I'm always like, I always love, like, I try to always approach that stuff with excitement. Of course, we're all creatives. We, this is people's passion. I get it. I was right there, but it's always hard. Like, any question about, sustainability or longevity, it's like, man, you see a lot of people come and go, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, back in those days, like and I'm no stranger to this. I was a tech consult for a long time, where you're basically your own entrepreneur. You got to fill your schedule anyway while you're working for them. So the outlook back then was just sort of like the looking for work never stopped. So they were like, to be realistic, if you don't like applying for jobs, selling yourself, putting yourself out there to get a new job, you're doing that every day, because the current job you have is only going to last so long, and it's usually a contract position. So
Everything is contract position. Like,
yeah, agreed.
Now it happened to Demo.
Oh shit! How did that
Jesus,
happen?
I got ejected to Africa over here.
Oh, there you are. There you
Sorry,
are.
that was the smiting happening.
The smiting. Yeah.
I've been smited.
A light smiting. Light smiting.
Yeah.
You've been Aldridged.
Oh, I love it.
But yeah, I was trying to say the contract. Everything is contract. Like,
Yes.
when I didn't know that when I went to college. I didn't know that was a thing. I went to college thinking, I get a job at a studio and I'm just there forever. And then I learned that, like, no, you're there for a project, and then you have to go find another job, and then you have to go find another job after that.
The way the workforce is kind of leaning, I wonder if like contract work like that's going to end up like Uber drivers.
Yeah, I mean, Fiverr, baby. We just
Right.
I honestly wish there was an app for that, because like because I'm hiring right now, right? And it's like so annoying looking for people.
When you challenge them, say they got a model better than you, faster than you.
Yeah.
You know what you want.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
like,
it's kind of
hey.
Yeah.
I'm
was
doing
like,
that
that's
next.
Competition going down. Yeah.
I'm doing that. I'm doing
Artists.
that next week, I think. Yeah.
I should join that and just like give you the worst model possible.
I'm gonna bring. Dude, my protege. I've been teaching this girl like my style of modeling for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months now, and she was working with me on another game, and she got it like sniped by some big studio. And so now she's gonna go work for them, which is good for her because I couldn't pay her. She's gonna be making more than I make. So, but it's like I don't want to have to go find somebody that So that's why I'm just like, you have to be better than me if I'm gonna hire you at that point. Like,
Well, because you're hiring to take a load off yourself, so you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
I should have done that with my programmer.
Yeah, just challenge
I
him to a
didn't.
code off.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
'cause, like,
Code off.
Take your coat off.
Take my coat off. Wow, good one, Wiki.
Sorry, I couldn't.
But yeah, everything's contract work. It sucks. But I'm doing that too. Like, I can't make my game if everyone wasn't contractors. I couldn't hire these people full time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sad fact. It's how it starts. But at least you would sound like you would not screw them over or something.
Yeah, no, I'm paying people like at least industry standard rates for like, if you had a full-time job, but like I can't hire you full-time sometimes, or I can only hire you for 6 months, full-time, and then that's it.
I think that's okay though, right? Like I don't think contracts themselves are bad. I always hate the lying, right? The
lying.
Contract to hire, and like we're gonna reassess in a year, and then the project's completed in 9 months, and you're out the door. And
you're out the door. No, I tell everyone you sign a 3-month contract, and we renew it every, until their work is done.
That's kind of how we've handled it too, though. Like I just hired the sound guy, and he's on like I think it's a 6-month contract, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, and it makes sense.
He's still technically an employee of the company, though. I mean, it's different.
I'm not giving anybody insurance. You get no benefits.
Well, you don't have to give. I don't know how it is in Georgia, but you don't have to give benefits if you're. I think it's under 25 employees in Virginia.
Yeah, I think in Georgia's got like the best law. Like, I don't have to pay hardly any tax. It's fantastic.
Well, it's a conservative state, so what do you expect?
Yeah, get the monies.
No social services,
Yeah, true.
Those are for those dirty liberal commies, right? Fucking Southern people.
California here in the house.
I swear, I'm gonna come and join. I'm gonna come and join you and
please do.
And Justin in
the coastal elites.
Yep, coastal elites.
Coastal elites.
There we go. Uh-huh.
I was very surprised to learn that you live in Wisconsin, because I didn't know anyone lived in Wisconsin.
Is Wisconsin where Culver's is from? Do you know Culver's?
Yeah, they're actually partnered with my company.
Yeah, dude, I just ate there a few minutes ago before I hopped in the podcast.
Nice.
The cheese curds?
Cheese curds, dude. I've been going to Culver's for over a year now, and because they opened one right next to my house. So like,
oh no,
I've never heard of that.
I never ate cheese curds because for a whole year of going there, because the word cheese curd, it sounds like ass. It sounds gross.
Yeah, they have those sheets and they're fucking amazing.
They should call them like cheese fry. I don't know, just bites? Fried cheese bites. Yeah, cheese bites.
So if you ever see the pub burger marketed, it's like a limited time thing.
Yeah, I have that one.
Oh my god,
I have, dude. I love it. It's so fucking good.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
Yeah,
see, like Culver's. Cheese curds are in Wisconsin. We both worked at a restaurant. PJ was there first.
Yeah,
it's called Eduardo's, and like I worked at for the fry cook line making cheese curds for a while, and those things were like as big as half of your fist.
Wow,
like
that's
cheese curds.
Kind of strange.
They're really good. Like we got a friend that lives down here in North Carolina with me. He lives in Raleigh right now, and he still messages us about that place because we all flew up and hung out like in 2014, and he still talks about the fucking cheese curd.
Yeah, dude, cheese curds are. I can't believe I've been Culver's for a whole year straight. I didn't order the. Stupid.
You could have.
I guess it sounds like I got to go to Wisconsin then, because like I have a thing with cheese, man. It's
there's one in Georgia if you're closer to Georgia.
I don't know if that restaurant's open. So Peter, the one you took us to, that had like.
I've been on a mission to find similar cheese curds for the last 6 years because they closed.
Yeah, not Eduardo's, but
I've had these little cheese bites from Sheets, and that's it. That's the first time I've ever had those.
No,
you guys probably don't even have Sheets though. Like,
no, what that is.
I don't even know what a Sheets is. Never heard of that.
It's like in Georgia, it's like Racetrack or what's the other one?
Quick Trip. Gas stations.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What'd you say?
He's talking about gas station food.
Hey. These places are not gas stations. They are deluxe eating places with gas stations attached.
Okay. What was the name of one you just said?
There's Sheets, Wawa, Quick Trip, and Racetrack.
I work for Quick Trip.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
There's other types of
IT
Quick Trip,
department. Yeah, there's two, but we're the big one.
Is it there quick with a Q or a KW?
It's a Q.
Yeah,
there's like a billion.
That's the one that's in Georgia. Georgia has Quick Trip and Racetrack, and Virginia has Sheets and Wawa.
I mean,
Wawa's like northeastern shit.
Yeah, I heard about Wawa.
Wawa's fucking amazing. They're the best subs ever. So fucking good.
Interesting.
Yeah. Deluxe
Next
fucking
time I'm
food,
on the
man.
road. Next time I'm on the road, I'll check one out.
Just go visit PJ.
Dude, I fucking eat
Yeah, let's
Wawa
go
like
visit PJ.
like several times a week. It's so fucking good.
I'm fucking starving. I just made meatballs with bulgogi sauce, and now I think I have to go eat the other.
That's a weird combo: meatballs and bulgogi sauce. Like,
I don't know what the fuck a bulgogi is.
that's like Korean
Korean barbecue.
right?
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
I gotta go heat up the rest. You guys are talking about fucking cheese curds.
Cheese curds, dude, they're good as shit. Like, I didn't know they were flavored. I didn't know that they would be flavored and they'd be delicious. The most succulent little.
When you get the
drops of
fresh
cheese.
ones that aren't fried, they squeak. They're just there's a whole thing about it. Yeah, they're really fucking good.
The sad thing is that Culver's cheese curds, they're good.
Yeah.
But
They're the
compared
bottom
to
of the
like a
barrel.
real cheese curd
Uh-huh.
that we're talking about, like you'd be like, oh, those are gross.
That's so funny.
I'm gonna have to take a trip to Sheets now.
Yeah, because like
some cheese.
the ones at Culver's, we have a Culver's near our house too. Like those are like I get them and they're really good, but they're like
They're
a
nothing
pale
compared.
shadow.
That's so wild.
Shadow.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
yeah. I couldn't imagine
of
how
those-
could cheese get better than that.
it's one of those like those residents in Gondor when you see them in the movies,
Yeah.
and then the cheese curds we're talking about are like Elendil, like the old king guy. It's like they're watered down.
The watered down versions. Damn, dude. And now I gotta take a travel to Wisconsin, get me the good curds.
Hang out with PJ.
Yeah.
I wish
Who
there were
would
more
ever go to
cons
Wisconsin?
around us.
Yeah. Wisconsin's kind of a spooky place now from what I hear on the news. I don't know if I want to fly back there.
Yeah.
Creeps.
Cheese. When's the next cheese festival?
There's a town called Westby. Just go there.
Just go there. Okay, it's just permanent.
I'll
cheese.
drive you. It's an hour away.
24.
They're Scandinavian. Like the sign says, "Velkommen til Vestby," but I'm sure
Oh,
it's
nice.
But cheese curd mills all over the place, or whatever they call it.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, next time I plan a trip across America, then I'll stop by. When I retire, after I make my billions, I'll retire and then come visit you.
Like what was it? Like 8 months, 18 months?
8 months from now? Yeah. I don't know, dude. Who knows, man? My game might not sell at all. Who knows?
That's fake.
That's fake. Come on, dude.
Fake
I don't know, man. I think that's a real fucking possibility for mine. That shit's terrifying me.
I think it's spooky. It is spooky, man. Even for any game. I mean, just if you're not like a AAA, like huge install base wise, like it just seems so spooky, man. I don't know.
You could make the best game and not market it well. You could make the worst game and market it too well, and you get bigger than it's at.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, look at Among Us, right? Like that game, just no one played it on release at all, right? And
and then it blew up out of nowhere.
Then it blew up, after some, some YouTubers got a hold of it, and people realized, oh shit, that's actually fun. So
I don't know. I guess
never
Plan
know.
B is just writing more automation software, and then Plan C is like just doing YouTube.
Just doing YouTube. Yeah.
Robert's rants.
Robert's rants.
No,
I would
dude, like
honestly watch
you can
probably.
you can make a silly amount of fucking money like reviewing tech stuff, and I love consumer technology.
Yeah, you sound like you have a good voice for that type of YouTube thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make a judgmental
I just
podcast about shitty
copyrighted
tech.
Robert's rants.
Yeah, just
Use
it's
it.
I could do that.
Has to be.
You
It
got
has to be
Robert's
something
rants.
spicy.
Yeah, it's gotta be spicy.
Spicy
though. You can't-
reviews. So yeah.
Spicy reviews.
Like
Spicy
basically,
news and reviews.
tech companies like the reason why they want to give you stuff for free to review is because they want you to like roast it. It's like that roast me Reddit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like
it.
fucking D brands.
Yeah, people would be like,
Yeah.
let me give it.
I don't
to
know. Like
give me your
I
best
have
shit.
a YouTube channel where I've done like some reviews here and there, but they're not. I don't know. Let me get up in there.
Robert's like,
Oh, you got a nice hole here. Damn it.
Oh, hey.
Robert, you always gonna make things weird. Yeah.
I'll do it
Sorry,
again. Come
my
here.
cat was eating something.
Oh wow.
I see your wrist hole. What is that?
Wrist hole.
Personal space, sir.
You want to look inside of my sausage knuckles?
I just gotta grab the back of the head and just kind of. Your turn, D-Maul. Give me your pods.
Come
Call
to
him
me. Come
Call him
My angles. I have angles. Real men have angles. And pods. Real men have
Real
pods
men
and
have-
angles.
Now, what were we talking about before this got weird?
Podcast.
Cheese curds podcast. Oh, yeah, podcast.
Cheese
Dude,
cast.
actually, I've really wanted to do like a podcast for a long time, but I have no idea what I would do it about.
Just talk about shit that annoys you. Like that's literally. I think that would.
Yeah.
Just be fire.
Oh man. Like
I could just make a podcast reviewing every shitty Unity plugin.
God.
Some people like on the last on our
Dude, you're
last
shooting.
podcast
You're
that
killing
went for
Johnny over here.
years.
Leave the guy alone.
Hey,
Right?
Johnny
It
will be my
hurts. It
co-host, and he
Johnny
can defend them.
He
there
can bring
we go.
them to
Okay,
you because he
all right,
knows
fair.
it all.
That's
So like
fair.
I used to go on
That's fair.
rants all the time, and I think everybody
Yeah.
seemed to like them.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
a popular thing.
Yeah, I
was
like
gonna say-
content like that.
Speaking
Did you
of
ever watch
podcasts, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you ever watch Family Guy? Like
Yeah.
they had like this
No,
mini
I've never
segment
heard
of
of
what
Family Guy.
grinds
Who's
my
Peter
gears,
Griffin?
right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. I think you'd kill something like that.
Yeah. That's what. Every time I think of that, I think of Robert, like grind my gears, the grind my gears thing. I'm like, I can see.
What
it's
kind
like,
of
Robert
fucking,
is Peter
like-
Griffin? Dude, I bet you are Peter Griffin, bro. You just do it. Just get on there,
What kind of reputation have I gained here, man?
bro. I've seen you tweet. I've seen you tweet.
Spicy.
I don't understand what's so spicy about my tweets. I don't get it.
You said something
Spicy
just the
Curdcast.
other day about you said fucking something.
Yep.
And anytime you put fucking in front of whatever it is you were saying, it just turns
What?
into like some
What did I
so
say?
serious.
Fuck.
I linked it in the chat. Remember? I don't remember what it was, but like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it was something about Unity being fucking terrible. I remember.
Yeah. and So yeah.
Oh
like,
no,
you
it was,
did,
like-
I said Unity is objectively fucking terrible, and it
yeah,
is.
So if you just
Sorry,
took out
Johnny,
the
you're
fucking, if you just took out the fucking and objective part, it wouldn't have been as spicy. But the combo of those words just
right.
too
Dude,
intense,
I use fuck like a comma.
Yeah,
I love
exactly. And that's what's wrong with your tweets, bro.
Oh, I love that.
You fuck like you're in a coma?
That too.
That must be fair. I feel bad for.
Yeah, I feel bad for my wife. It's okay. That's okay.
I wonder if she gets car sick.
Oh boy.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Oh man.
Well, it's motion sickness, you know.
Oh man.
It's like riding a car.
Robert fucks at 40. What's the refresh rate?
It hurts.
Yeah. 40 hertz.
Oh man.
Pretty hurts.
72 hertz.
72 hertz.
Oh boy.
You and cat.
FPS.
FP.
How many fucks per second, Aldrich?
That's 72 frames per second. That's a lot.
Okay, it's
It's a lot of strokes.
You should just call your podcast FPS and then just
Yeah.
fucks per second.
Yeah,
Bucks per second, that's pretty good.
How many times they fuck in your podcast?
Fucks per sentence.
Yeah.
Bucks per second.
Yeah.
I don't know. In all seriousness, though, like the only kind of podcast I think I would actually do would be something just talking to people randomly about their fucking lives because it's extremely interesting to me.
Me too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we
I'd
can
be your
sprinkle in the
co-host
fucks while we're at it.
There we go.
So if we can just bring this back full circle. So let's talk about how you guys were conceived.
Uh,
Oh, you weren't here for that, D-Moss.
I was not.
So there's a 61 Chevy Impala with a real
Ah,
big bench
right.
seat in the back.
I find it weird that people know that about themselves.
I don't. My dad had one of those cars at one point.
Oh, so you were just making assumptions.
It just popped into my head. I don't know what kind of car they had.
I'm pretty sure I
Wood-paneled
was conceived in a
station
closet, which is disturbing.
Oh,
so-
And you've never come out since.
God damn it.
Oh shit.
that's like you just
Nothing wrong with
put
that.
up there.
We're canceled.
Okay,
We're
that was
super
not
canceled.
We're canceled. Yeah, me and Johnny.
Yep,
we gotta
good
do
job
some
canceling
PR.
everyone.
Johnny, we need to back up from these
To
guys.
Right,
be
yeah.
100% fair, my family thought I was gay for a very long time
We don't support
until the day I got married.
until the day you got married.
That's kind of late.
Yeah, And my sister thinks it's a scam.
Oh my god!
man.
I'm sure.
Usually it's the
Some
opposite.
kind of
supportive
cover-up.
sister.
It's like, usually they're like in denial in the South, right?
Yeah,
Damn. Yeah.
Been
I don't want to get canceled.
good 100 episodes. We'll never see you guys, or you'll never hear us.
Right.
Great way to end it. Get canceled.
Nice round number.
Nice round number. It was good. It was a good one to end on, you know?
Just in 3 months on Robert Rand's podcast.
Yes, yes.
Let's do it.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
Right.
I think that would be like the name of his like autobiography or something. when Robert finally gets canceled one day.
Hey, I'm not gonna get canceled. I'm good, man. Probably.
Dude, I find myself deleting tweets all the time now. Like I'll say something and then I'm like, ooh.
There's only been a few times when I'm like, maybe I shouldn't tweet this. It's very few and far between.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, no, that was bad. Delete it.
I posted a picture of something like in response to a tweet PJ posted, and then I deleted it because I didn't want a photo of my car out there because like some fucking psycho might do something. I was like, oh, I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I really like one of the ones I deleted was like I have a there's I don't know if you guys know this. There's a fuckload of like vanity plates in Virginia. There's like the most in the country, and I have one on my car because I'm a VR developer, obviously. So I thought I was going to post that, and I was like, wait a minute, that's a bad idea. People can track me.
Yeah, all those spicy tweets come back to
Right.
Is that the license plate?
If anything, I'm probably just going to get like shot by a Christian because fuck those people.
Oh my god! Come on.
Oh, but not you, Johnny. You're fantastic. You're not gonna smack me with a Bible.
Johnny's over here like,
come on, you're not gonna smack me with a Bible. It's okay.
I will not smack you.
You're one of
the views of the future FPS podcast do not necessarily reflect the views of the room.
I won't smack you with the
talking
Bible
into
as long as you won't screwdriver me when you become, the metaverse.
when you become all powerful.
Yeah,
You're right.
Please spare Johnny.
Please.
I got to keep Johnny around, man. He's gonna show me California and where the places are. So it's fun.
There we go. I can do that. Yeah, that's fair.
Johnny's like the he's
now
like
Wisconsin,
the
on the other hand,
Robert's icing. Johnny's like the nicest guy.
Yeah.
I got to bring the temperature down so that
balance it out.
He'll never kick you in the shins.
Yeah, dude, Johnny would never kick anyone in the shins. PK.
Wait. Actually, which one of you is older?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, wait. So what? That would make sense. Yeah.
My sister, like Big Brother moved. Yeah.
My sister's 8 years older, and she was a fucking asshole.
Right.
Damn, dude.
I remember finding a chicken bone when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And I was like, "That's a chicken bone." She was like, "No, that's from the brother they didn't want." I was like, "Oh,
fuck!" Shit.
Told me I was adopted, all that shit,
Right.
Holy shit, dude! Jesus Christ.
I think I had like a zit or a pimple or something. And my brother was like, "Oh yeah, that's because something's growing in your skin. Like some seed had been implanted in me." And right, oh man, it was fucked up. Yeah, thanks, big bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one time, speaking of people being assholes, this is a different sibling. I don't remember how old I was. Like Thundercats was still on TV. Her oldest sister, like I was a little guy. Oldest sister, don't know why she was babysitting, runs in the room and says, "Somebody just called. Mom and Dad were on the way back from the restaurant. They got in a car accident. They're dead. Their ghosts are coming to haunt you and kill you and eat you or some shit."
Oh, shit.
That's so fucked up.
Hide under the bed. Don't come out. Even if Mom and Dad, the ghosts coming, like they're going to say, "Come out." Don't come out.
Dude, kids are fucked up, dude. Kids are
they really are.
Melted man's face and hands against the furnace. My life is over, and now my parents are going to come kill me.
The fucked up part of that was the 80s.
That was
And
the 80s, yeah.
she's only 4.
She's 8 years older
She's
than me.
8 years older than you, but still way too young to be watching 3 other kids. Like, what the
That's wild, dude.
It's like 84 or 5 or
Yeah.
something. I was like 4 years old. Yeah, Mom and Dad are gonna come kill you, like shaking you like by the shoulders. Like, you gotta get under the bed and don't come out. Like she's trying to get me to starve myself to death.
Yeah.
I mean, my mother chased me with a butcher knife when I was like 8 years old, so you know.
Jesus.
Yeah. No.
Am I the only person with a normal childhood?
Must be. Like, dude, no, my family is incredibly fucked, okay?
A whole other podcast.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
this is
this because I was so fucking young. My sister, she's like, you knocked over our mother's food, so she was like, ah, and then chased you with a butcher knife, and you ran outside and hid in like some, leaves or some shit.
Oh,
But yeah.
shit.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
Y'all need y'all need therapy, all right?
Oh, I need a lot of that.
Well, that's very true. Yeah,
we
I
can talk
talked to him
about
there.
we can talk
Right.
about her shitty husband. He's a piece of shit. That's fun.
Wait, what? Who's?
I said we could talk about her piece of shit husband.
Why? What is that? How's that relevant? What is going on? Where is?
His
Where,
mom?
I'm just talking
His
about shitty
mom's
things.
Dude, we need
Come
to
on,
hug-
come on,
do we need
Demo.
to-
You're from the
come
south.
on,
You
we
got to be fucked up some way.
No, I gotta hug you. I mean, I got sucked into. We got sucked into like a minute cult.
I'm gonna have to go this way. What is happening? I can't get out.
Circle. Hug circle.
Speaking of zombie games,
I don't want this.
Right.
Get your pods away from me.
Oh shit.
I hide behind Johnny. He's the most normal out of all of you.
Well, that's not saying much, but all right.
I don't know. He sounds like he has older brother trauma. Like,
Oh,
know.
for
I
sure.
guess.
Absolutely.
I didn't have any siblings that abused me, so
Oh wow.
I got
I mean,
to
did you even love each other? If you didn't
Siblings,
abuse each other a little bit?
Mother,
that's what's
father,
fucked up about.
That's how siblings help prepare you for the real world, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's training.
I just ignored my brother, and we haven't talked in like 10, 20 years or something. I haven't talked to anyone.
Because you didn't beat each other up.
Because exactly, that's the problem. I was too nice. I was too nice to them.
Kung Fu training is, in Kung Fu training, you smack forearms together to toughen your bones up. That's all
Yeah,
PJ was doing. It was out of love. He wanted me to be a better wushu fighter.
Yeah,
Wookiee
But
can
I
take a
never-
punch.
I think it worked. I think Wookiee's a pretty. Cool
I mean, that's
guy.
what I used to do with my cousins. Yeah, we would like fucking UFC fight. It's crazy. Good shit.
Jesus, dude.
Oh, man.
I mean, we're all pretty tough. We've had these headsets on for almost 3 hours now.
Has it really
Yeah,
been
my
that long?
glasses are like digging into my nose.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, my face is starting to hurt a little bit.
While I was troubleshooting my recording stuff, I did the classic thing. I was trying to pull them off with one hand because I was doing something else with the other hand, and I let go, and they just smashed into my face.
Oh, fun.
I got eyelid oil all over the inside of my glasses, and I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
no.
it's like, what this shit?
That's awful. VR has made me definitely want to get like LASIK surgery or something.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
would imagine.
I get that. Yeah.
Because like I'm
But
so
then there's
tired of wearing
ingenuity.
glasses in VR.
In my wrist, I have a 3D printed like glasses thing, and they like a set of round glasses in my prescription that fit in there, all in like
Yeah,
some.
yeah, I've
awesome
seen those. I've
person
seen
wouldn't-
those or whatever.
Yeah, works like a charm.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. I might do that or LASIK. Depends how rich I get, right?
All right.
Y'all gotta be
Is that
careful. You gotta
Sneak
watch
that in the
out.
contract.
My ego is gonna get too inflated soon. So just
Is that
Keep it
before or
grounded.
after the hair?
that's like after. Yeah, when you guys see me when you actually see me post selfies, then you'll know it's gone. I've
There we
lost it. I'm
go.
done.
I'll learn how to sew clothes, and I'll just follow you around and like make you suit.
Yeah, just
Like this one is not the right color or the length. I'm gonna
needs more blue.
Needs.
periwinkle.
Periwinkle. Yeah. God.
Well, my battery's about to die, even though I'm.
Yeah, I
plugged
think
in
this is a good
somehow.
place to call it a night. That was fun.
Periwinkle blue is a
This
good.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Congrats on episode 100.
Yeah, guys,
Thanks, guys.
congrats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys
you
are you
guys-
guys are great. I'm sure
Keep
all of
doing
us
it.
are happy that you guys are here.
Very much so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like it that people interview devs. I think that's the coolest shit.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is.
Oh, we'll have to talk, Demo, and get you.
Yeah, you get me
Right.
scheduled in April or something.
All right.
I'll have
But-
I'll have a beta. I mean, I'll have
Nice.
a alpha ish around that time. So
Perfect.
Will there
I
actually be
appreciate you
t-shirts?
guys hanging out this long, and every first Friday every month when we do the round table, it's always a
Hell
blast.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll always look forward to it.
I always
Me
look forward
too.
to it, yeah. I don't really talk to many other devs, so.
Yeah.
I'm always just like that sumbitch Johnny. I don't even want to do this anymore. But,
I have that effect on people.
It just makes it hard. Makes every episode harder.
Damn it.
Oh god.
He's
How
always
can I make
raging
you
about
guys-
something.
Less comfortable, right?
Less comfortable. Yeah, you always make me so
Yeah.
comfortable, Johnny. Gee.
Right. Yeah. I want to make you as uncomfortable as possible. That's the goal. Yeah.
I thought that was the point of the spiciness.
Yeah. It's definitely not you, Robert. You are the most welcoming person here. You are definitely.
Hey, man, I'm so nice. I love everyone,
Yeah.
except Christians.
But
You know.
but Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny's
But-
special. He's the
Thank
golden
you.
boy Christian.
Thank
It's okay.
Uh,
He's
When
doing
we,
that
when
stuff.
we eliminate all the other ones, we can keep him.
right.
What the
Right.
fuck?
There
dude,
we go.
no.
And then
No, no.
D-Mod's going to be VR Jesus.
I'm VR Jesus though. Sacrilege.
the point of view expressed about getting rid of a huge genocide isn't really representing
Hey, I never
Everyone
said
else.
genocide, okay?
in Canada.
I don't
know
support
what,
that.
regicide. Sorry, regicide. Or
Reg-
maybe that's
What is it? No.
Belieficide.
Belief aside. Oh, God. Oh no! All right, I'm gonna get out before I get canceled or something.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's-
Again, everyone.
Good. Night, guys.
All right, this has
been
great, guys.
Bye.
Look forward to the next one.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
me too.
Where's the off button? Oh, there it is.
Ah,
Catch us tomorrow morning for the Chulers podcast, bright and
I might
early.
actually do that. I'll be awake because I gotta get the inner rail glasses. I'm excited about that.
Nice.
I've been following the Chulers thing for a while too, so yeah, I might. All right, guys.
See you in 10 hours.
Fucking probably, yeah.
Don't go to sleep. That'll be even better.
10 Red Bulls. Have a good night, everybody.
Well, thanks everyone for watching, listening. This was a long one. Sorry about that. Not sorry. But thanks for getting us to 100. Hope to do another 100. Another 100 devs talking to us and sharing everything with you guys. Join us in the Spatial Ape app. Like we said before, a lot of cool stuff coming in the next year, so stay tuned.
Let's do it.
Thanks for doing 100 episodes with me, Wookie.
Thanks for listening to 100 of my rants.
Has it
It's
only
probably
been
about
100?
100. Just in this space, yeah. Thanks for putting up with us and letting us into your ear homes. I can't talk. I've had this
is
VR
late.
headset on too long.
Yeah. All right, thanks,
Good
guys.